What is goody? What is goody? Dude, so much going on. Like a lot of stuff today. It's just non-stop, man. You just got to keep up on days like this. Chat, what's goody? We got some Halo coming up. Halo tonight. We got the fights tonight. We got Rust still going on. We got Fortnite just dropped. Bunch of good stuff going on. Happy Saturday. I still have to make a little pit stop. So I'm gonna watch the first one. We got the first one upcoming here in a few minutes. I'm gonna watch the first one. I'm gonna leave it on. I'm just gonna have to step out for like 7 minutes, and then I'll be back, and I'll be with you guys in spirit. Yeah, this will probably go until like 7. And then yeah, we already have that ordered, so we'll hop over there, hop in Discord, and finish out the night over in Discord for the fights. Hope everyone's feeling good. Yo, happy Saturday. I gotta find this. I've got to find, what is it, HCS? I think they have it on the YouTubers. Did you? Oh, I didn't. I did not, Sam. I did not. What's it gonna be? HCS Halo? Yeah. We're about to get smacked. I don't know if we're getting smacked today. I think they were saying like Monday. Dude, there's so much, dude. It's I don't want to get down the rabbit hole, man, but crazy. HCS Halo. Let's just focus on today, man. That's all we can do. And
of course now is in the building warming up. A few scrims going down.
All right, chat, I'll be with you in spirit in chat.
Rebellion looking to go one further than they have so far this year and get to that Sunday and really make a run. And they've got an opportunity in this upper bracket today. We'll be watching them and seeing what they're doing.
By the way, they cannot, as we take a look at the Halo Collector booth as well. Shout out to all of our community presence here. The Halo Collector crew. Great to have them here at the Halo World Championship as well. But also got to say, Shopify Rebellion, they're getting ready for Akabe Esports. And I was talking to Bound and Lucid, and no one can take them lightly. I think the way that Bound and Lucid said it was like, those guys want it so bad. Yeah. You can see it in their games. Don't forget, they almost went 3-0 in their pool.
But it's the crazy thing is, we talked about, and you quite brilliantly mentioned yesterday, I think in the first game we casted, as we kicked off the Halo World Championship, this is the first time when we felt like every team has a story behind them. Every player has a story behind them. And this is a team, players from South America who have come together, who have always been in the shadow of Tapping buttons. Now they've had a chance with Tapping moving away to kind of spread their wings and make a name for themselves, right? And that's exactly what they are doing. Not only did they qualify for the Halo World Championships back in SLC, but now they find themselves being taken very, very seriously by some of the big teams. Like you mentioned, they almost went 3-0, almost won their pool, which would have been absolutely incredible, not just for them, not just for the tournament, but for the region as a whole, to show that they can perform at that level.
You might even say they should have won their pool, right? Let's not forget, they were leading phase at the midpoint in game number 5. Wild scenes. Keep a very close eye on them, of course. Also, big shout out everything you're seeing here. You've got the Gamers Outreach booth, SSG booth right in front of you, front and center. Of course, flanked by Oats Overnight is in the building. Also, at the Halo Gear and Xbox Gear booth, you've got some amazing exclusives. Halo 2 Classic hoodies, Halo 2 cover art tees. Also, big shout out to Hook, Snipe Down, and Miquin joining us here in the Native Gaming booth. Fantastic to have them on the scene. Legends of the game, it goes without saying. Also, let's not forget, teammates as well.
Yeah, certainly were. Certainly had some success together as well back in 2016, I want to say now, which is correct in my estimation. So a fantastic group of people. Go and say hello to them. Make sure you get some stuff signed by those 3 legends of the scene. As we see a couple of photos being taken. Family photos.
Some photo ops.
Photos. What you love to see.
Photo ops at the Armory. What more do you need at the Halo World Championship, huh? Day number 2. Grab some rifles, grab some shotguns with the family. get some photos taken. Props, of course, make no mistake. Also, as I mentioned,
gear.
the Halo 2 gear at the Xbox and Halo Gear booth. This is beautiful stuff. I mean, just so well thoughtfully designed. You've got the H2 Classic logo hoodie from the steel case. You've got the cover art as well as the gold hat. You've got the kind of drop E3 kind of drop art as well. Also, the Shopify Rebellion booth. This is the one we were talking about.
Yeah, this is the one where
this is the living room setup.
As you can see here, this is exactly where Shurzy cheated and screen watched against me for a good 30 minutes.
You can just imagine looking at this setup that Shurzy would be screen watching.
I had to almost get the cardboard out.
And he would be cheating.
Yeah.
And he would be cheating. I'm not surprised. I got to say, shout out to anyone who's ever, I love that play from you, who's ever blocked a horizontal, because you would never do it with vertical. You never play vertical. Who's ever blocked a horizontal split by using either sheets or cardboard, and someone watches over the top, and someone watches.
As it's draped upon their head.
Yeah. And someone watches underneath the bottom. That is, if you've done that, that is vintage, big respect to blocking the screen watching on the OG setup. Shout out to Shopify, though. We love the booth. We love the presence here. It's been great to have him here.
I'm going to get him back on that booth a little bit later, and I'm bringing.
I would love to run some more games.
I'm going to bring the duvet from the hotel. That's what I'm doing.
Just kind of cozy up. By the way, that couch, we talked about it. Also, shout out to our friends at LVT are in the building. Fantastic to have them here. Eli the Ninja, Louis VT, Tools, as well as Active here. Great to have it. Also, I think we got, of course, we got
Alex over there.
Aliak, we got 99, we got the entire LVT crew here. It's great to have them here with us, providing essential coverage at the Halo World Championship. And this time,
Mikowski.
It's of course old man Mikowski here. It's by the way, fantastic to have him so close by,
and that's
especially because normally they're on the other side of the venue, but this time we got our LVT for homies
and everything. It's great.
Right near us. We can actually wave to them right now. I think they're actually making fun of us, if I'm not mistaken. Active is laughing pretty heavy at me, which I'm not actually too comfortable with. Also the Warthog, of course.
As I say, that's what you actually drove across.
Yeah, that's how I got here.
The sea in.
That's how I got here.
It's amphibious.
It's amphibious. I was going to use the same exact word, and I'm so glad you did. Don't forget, also swing over by the photo booth area. Grab some photos and some of your favorite Halo settings. And you can hold the Nerf Halo rifle, too.
Well,
is that the entire venue? No, the community stage.
I hope you even mentioned the community stage.
The community stage.
What's going on over there, Andy?
Okay, there's a lot of cool stuff going on.
Sketch is holding it down.
He is. I've been catching up with Sketch and Uni, as well as Alex, as well as Grim, as well as Ron. A lot going on at the community stage. Unsurprisingly, that's been packed all weekend as well. A lot of really cool stuff. By the way, you can play. You're going to be able to see a bunch of demos.
Chat, I do have.
They're going to be showing off.
I do have that championship bracket. Hold on, let's get here. We do have the bracket somewhere around here. Let me find it. 1 minute. Okay, let's add away. All right, so this is the. What the fuck? We're gonna need that a little bit bigger. All right, there we go. Let's get it bigger for you guys. Yeah. Upper space station and quadrant. That'll be good. Quadrant had it rough yesterday, but they can always bounce back. They're the EU team. Pretty good, dude. SLG. Dude, there was this clip yesterday. I don't know if I saved it or not. I don't even know if I was recording, but yeah, dude, SLG had the sick moment yesterday. It's pretty amazing. FaZe and Cloud, Shopify and Akavi. Akavi sneaking in there actually a little bit, and then Optic into the breach. So that's how the bracket's looking. Why can't I get off this screen? All right, we are. Yeah, so pretty good. I am gonna watch this one with you guys, and then I do have to take like a few minute break, so I'll be back in roughly like 7 to 10 minutes after that. But it'll be way after this series, like in between. Yeah, dude, we got the fights tonight, bro. Full time. And then, dude, with Khalil too is like something different. So yeah, dude. Get Aldo back. Should be good. Yo, happy Saturday again. Let's get it.
World Championship stage here. Right now, decked, of course, out in the 1v1 showdown look, but we, of course, will get back to your 4v4 programming later on today. Just in case you're just joining us, lots of Halo to come today.
Okay, let's go back to talk about some of those moments, right? Because now you've had a few seconds to get the cogs whirring in the brain. I know it takes you a few minutes to get them going these days.
A lot of time.
More and more caffeine. But what's another moment that jumps out to you?
In all of HCS or Infinite specific?
Infinite specifically.
Infinite specific. Let's see. A lot of things. How about also, let's not forget, I mean, Native Gaming with an unfortunate early exit here at the Halo World Championship. But how about the Native Red run?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Talk about the loot to get top 3.
Yeah. Crazy.
At the World Championship. I mean, unbelievable the way that they tore apart that bracket just through the elimination side. Absolutely dunking.
Another crazy thing that just jumped into my mind. Start of Infinite, we didn't know what this guy looked like.
That is crazy to think about.
Think about that, right? Talk about the rise of Legend. Let's talk about the rise of Bound.
How about the fact that both of them are on the same team, right?
Yeah.
Look at the maturity of this scene, right? We talked about APG in his 18th season here. We talk about players like Ryan Noob. You talk about Lunchbox still on the stage. Then you look at SSG, and it's giving me chills just thinking about it. How about Bound and Legend? If we were to graph out their trajectories relative to the rest of the scene, right? These are hockey stick curves. What these guys have been able to do in such a short time in Halo Infinite. That's unbelievable.
FaZe, of course, winning the World Championship. Another ring to be added to the collection for some of those players. And they're going to look, well, they're going to be desperate. I mean, this season for FaZe has been such a strange one.
For a lot of teams.
Such a strange one. I mean, they win in London, we're like, wow, this looks like an unbeatable team. This looks like the greatest team that we've seen.
Yep.
And the two most disappointing results, I think, certainly with Snakelight and Royal 2's career in some time.
Yeah.
Back to back. But then they come to the Halo World Champs, and we know that they come different to the Halo World Championship. So we'll have to see what FaZe has in store. And of course, if they win this event, it'll be a pretty good year.
It is wild to think about just how much rides on this event. Now, I think it's expected at the Halo World Championship, but it is wild to think about, even though SSG has their 3 wins, even though FaZe has had a rocky season comparatively, even though Optic has only placed 2nd, it is no exaggeration to say that whatever happens here will absolutely wipe that slate clean. And we will not remember SSG's 3 trophies prior to this. We will not remember the year that Optic got 2nd every event. And we will not remember FaZe's rocky road. We will only remember who took this trophy. Even when we start next year, right? It's only going to be about who is the defending champ. And that's a lot of pressure on these teams because they've fought so hard, highs and lows for so many of them. But it only comes down to this single weekend.
The Optic story is fascinating, isn't it? Have you ever had a result that hinges a season one way or the other more than Optic here at the Halo World Championships? If Optic win the Halo World Championships, you look back on this season, oh my God, what a season.
And it always, yeah.
What an incredible season.
Exactly.
Every single grand final and the Halo World Championship,
yeah,
they come 2nd or less.
Or even lower, exactly. It is wild to think about how you will look back and how the history of this year will be rewritten, right? It will be retroactively rewritten based on Worlds. It's just like you said, if they win, it's like, my God, think about the road they took to get here and how hard they worked. If they place, say, in the top 3 only, instead it's like, not the same Optic. And that almost feels unfair, but that's the stakes here at the Halo World Championship.
And we're back into it. We're here. 1v1 showdown will continue. Furiously versus Bound. And good news, everybody. Bound, the boy's moving. He's sliding, and he's re-engaging. We're on the pit. There's another... Every single battle in these 1v1s, by the way, you've just been there yourself. If you played these maps, you've been there. Furiously going to get the first kill.
It's the first kill is up 1-0. So just to remind everyone, they're going to play for the first kill, essentially. Yes, you can jump in the zone and try to capture it, but you can just tell by the pace of the game that it's going to be really unlikely. Look how slow that capture is at the top of your screen in the 1v1 showdown. Flursley picks up the second one. Now he's up 2-0. And just to remind everyone, within these rounds, it's first to 5 kills or the first to capture the hill. That will earn you a tick on the bottom circles on the bottom of your screen. It's going to be the first to 3 wins.
Also, whoever wins this, it's $1,000 in the back pocket. So. Add that on as well. Bound gets off the mark, so he's going to have his first round on the board. Decided, by the way, it's rounds and sets. How'd you feel about that?
Rounds and sets?
Yeah.
I'll let you.
Want to stick with Russian
I'll let you use the terms, but I'm with it.
Okay. Well, back on the bridge gives me early Halo 3 King of the Hill vibes.
Yep. Does game battles ladder?
Yeah.
Am I right? I think we've all been.
Some good damage here. Jiggle P coming in from Bound, goes for the trade, doesn't get it because Furiously hits the headshot.
Got to be careful with your trades too as well. Keep in mind, Lucid called it. You don't want to be trading just because it's going to be +1 for both sides, of course. So Really can't afford to be trading at this mark. It's 3-1. Oh, the QT! Oh, should have won it, but does not. Bound reversals. In the end, he takes him down. That brings the game to 3-2.
It's called Banana for reasons, because it's a little bit slippy up there.
Yeah, a little slippery.
Back to Sword then, for the next battle. First beat down. Oh,
wait.
We've got a sniper rifle in
Brains
play,
him?
and he got absolutely brained.
Brains him. On our screen, it looked like a melee, but you could just tell by the kill feed that was not what happened. We should also mention, of course, you do have weapons that do spawn throughout these rounds as well. We'll keep a close eye on that.
3-3. Bound got there quick. You see that? Bound was in Sword. Now he's this one.
I tell you what, the QT just changes the way that this 1v1 showdown is played. Furiously trying to get an angle. Bound just playing the courtyard, also playing the QT.
Well, he's going to play a little bit of time here. This is smart. Remember, there is the QT here, but he has some access. He's just expired on the side of Bound, so Bound's going to have to take the more traditional route. The question is, can he get there in time? We'll be able to contest. It's a trade.
It's the trade. It's 4-4 now. Next kill will win this set.
Classic pre-nades to the window. The QT goes down, but was the QT timing good enough? Oh, Bound wins it. Bound wins it in the end. Bound wins it.
Huge
QT.
Bound with Furiously, no reaction from him.
Lock in. Next round. Next set. I don't know what was to call it. Next layer of the Russian dolls.
The round was won. And now we'll get ready to get into our next round here. And we're going to have, of course, a brand new loadout, a brand new map, and a brand new exchange. Furiously takes the first one here. He's up. But as you see on the scoreboard, Bound has now taken that first round, so he's earned that first tick of the circles. We're back to the bizarre loadout. And it's also a bizarre loadout.
2-0. There's some experience on the side here of Furiously when it comes to this particular weapon by the looks of things.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Two taps him. Look at Bound's reaction.
Bound's now learning that
Bound gets
weapon is in the game.
Absolutely two-tapped. Bound did mention that whenever he played this game against Legend, he got a lot of weapons he was not familiar using just because they're not in the competitive 4v4 set. Ooh, good damage.
I mean, this could be over pretty quickly. Bound's looking forward to getting back to single shot weapons, I think.
Yeah. Should mention as well, you got kind of different, see the sensor active indicator. Should be an easy one. Yes, indeed. It's a killing spree in the round. And just like that, Furiously takes it and he ties this up in 2 rounds. So now 1 round apiece for them. We'll see what round number 3 holds.
Round 3. We could just call battle. Think about it. Oh, we got a shock rifle. Okay.
Putting new terms into this.
Furiously hits the body. Oh, it's a purely electrified round. By the looks
I love this.
Shock rifle and we got shock nades.
Yeah, I like this. Repulse as well. So this one's going to be interesting.
Who's
And
gonna
pretty
hit
scrappy. Oh! Bound. Nasty kill coming in there for him. He'll take the first kill and the first set of our 3rd round. I'm getting better at this. I'm getting better.
Oh my god. It's a trampoline-based round. Highly sprung. There's another repulse. This is the most fun round we've seen so far.
This is the best round.
The repulse shock.
Not just in this set. This is the best round I've seen of this game type. This is a fun one.
I think he's getting a little bit more trepidatious.
Yeah,
People
little
tiptoe around. Bound has stepped his toes into the hill. There's Bound.
Need to grapple now. And he's off.
Okay, I always thought that round might be ending a little bit better. That was a little bit anticlimactic with the repulse off. I want to see some headshots. You know me, thirsty for headshots. 3 repulses either side to work with here. Furiously thinking about stepping in that hill. Have a quarter of it done. Steps out. There's the shot grenade. Furiously lines it up. Doesn't connect, but Bound does this time around. And Bound, with a more familiar weapon in his hands, is looking a lot more comfortable with.
3-0 here. Bound answering back in a strong way. Oh! I was just about to say I'm really enjoying the high-gen hallway 1v1. That's fun to watch. Bound trying to get a little bit... Oh, no. Furiously picked up a nice one, but in the end he gets repulsed also. It's 4-1 in favor of Bound. Only 1 more kill to go.
Want to go?
Oh,
a lot of get the info. Is that going to be enough to make this just 1 body shot for Furiously? No, got the shields back just in time. It's chipped away. We know that. The thing about the shock is you're so worried about just getting 1 tapped yourself. Repulse comes in, beatdown comes in. Furiously keeps it going.
Gave him a jolt. Furiously stays alive in this one, 4-2. Got a lot more work to do and only 1:15 left. That's a big damage.
Oh, he's back into this.
My God, the reversal comes in. He makes it 4-3. Now only 1 kill away.
Furiously has recognized that if he just doesn't get repulsed off the map, it's got an opportunity here to tie this one up. Body shot, no headshot yet. Both players with their shields broken, but look at the progress on this hill. Bound's going to have to challenge at some point. There he is. There's the beatdown. Oh, Bound!
Bound takes it. And also, got to mention, Furiously stepped out for just a second, so Bound actually got the hill reset during all of that as well. But Bound will take our second round, and now he leads 2-1.
Smell that $1,000, Bound.
I can smell it too. I thought I smelled something.
I don't know what it smells like. The opportunity.
Capturing him.
I can tell you what a pocket full of change smells like.
Actually, it is quite fragrant, isn't it? It doesn't smell good. It smells used. Second hand, as Dan Gaskin would say.
Yeah.
Let's see what can happen here.
Pulse rifle sidekick action. Whoa. Okay, no trade. Bound wins that one.
First kill goes to Bound.
Bonk on the head, little Mario style.
Pulse carbine, threat sensor, spike, and sidekick in play here. A whole lot of tools.
Oh.
But still fairly straightforward.
Bound did his best whack-a-mole impression. Just directly down.
Capturing him.
Oh. Slipping, we're sliding, we're trading.
Flutters are going to be happy to trade there in the end. But still, that will still make sure that Bound has just the 1-point lead. Sensor goes down. That's going to give some extra info as well for both players. Nicely done by Furiously. The extra shot. The extra shot from the sidekick.
2 battles apiece.
Very nicely done. Playing a little slower here. I like that. A little more jiggle peeking. Just wants to make sure he gets the opening damage and doesn't give away anything. Keep in mind, Bound is up 2 rounds to 1. If Bound takes this round, he will win the entirety of the game. Very happy with my terms I've used there.
Well done.
Thank you.
We're starting to define our vocabulary, which is quite something for us. Shields not quite broken. I would say they're about equal health in this 1v1 right now. Shields will come back on either side. Nobody's really playing around this hill at the moment. It's just such a... The low hill is very difficult to play around, knowing that your opponent can just get that high ground on you.
Oh, there's a snipe in play, by the way. A snipe has been picked up.
Bound. He's got that snipe. He's going to challenge.
Oh, Bound. Somehow they trade?
3-3.
Somehow they...
3 battles apiece have been won.
They traded in the feed, but I don't think they traded in points, if you notice. It was a 1-point difference. So I think actually the kill comes in and registers early before the trade might have. I could be completely wrong, but most importantly, it's 3-3.
A lot of hill progress here. Bound's going to have to challenge.
He has to go now.
The trade comes in.
4-4. Okay, this is huge.
This could be it. This could be it. Bound wins this one. We are done.
Furiously has to win this and cannot trade.
Spikes go in. Threat sensor follows. Master of the jiggle peek. Bound, but good shot.
Should have it, should have it.
Opportunity gets it. This is going here, Furiously.
Look at that exhale.
And the cash again.
See that exhale from Furiously. He knew that he absolutely could not afford to let that one go into a trade, which means the next round will win. As you see, 2-2 on the board. This is perfect. And now we are here on the Argyle setup in the 1v1. They are tied 2 rounds apiece. The winner of these entire rounds, Furiously gets the first kill as well.
He gets the first one.
Will win not just the match, not just the pride, but also, of course, the cash prize. Here we go. It's going to be a heat wave along with a spike and a threat sensor.
Info being picked up here by that threat sensor. Furiously playing the hill here, and this is an interesting one, right? Because you've got that heat wave. You can wait for the drop. You can play those close quarter range a little bit more, but doesn't quite connect. Bound's going to challenge. Bound will win it.
By the way, how about it? You thought these were GA. They're only going to play with heat wave to start things off. So a little bit less heat wave experience.
I see your GA.
Yeah, I see your GA. You're only going to play with these. This is scripted. Just kidding. Might be though. Furiously trying to connect. Bound is being a slippery pickle, huh?
It's the slipperiest of pickles. Ooh, you barely saw Bound there. That's how quick the jiggle peek was.
Oh, Bound's back in the mix. Nicely done. 2-1 Bound. Let's see if anyone's pre-spiking. We saw a lot of pre-nades early on in the Argyle matchup. Instead, it's just going to be trying to get some info as the threat sensor will whiz by.
Pre-spiking sounds like a fencing term in the gardening world.
Clearly, pre-spike. Bound running away. Furiously trying to go.
Look at a bounce shot.
Let's see, he's going to try to predict this route. This is getting dicey. Keep in mind, this hill, as we talked about with Lucid, this hill is really open, so you're not going to see a lot of hill play.
Ooh, good damage.
Sword as well.
For the sword, this is risky.
That's crazy.
This is risky.
Is he going to do it?
He's going to do it. Going to go for it. Oh!
Trade.
Wow. What was it? A trade. That was
trade. A bull true-ish, but still a trade. Can't say bold true for
Sure list.
Good connection. Oh, good fluriously.
Vertical, horizontal.
Yep, changing the dynamic. And one more. No.
Oh, he's got to hit this one. He's got to reload. Oh, he gets it.
Somehow gets a
Oh,
cremation
that was nervy
complete.
moment. I was nervous for that one.
I didn't know cremation complete was a voice line. That seems particularly brutal.
It's graphic.
No wonder they GA'd this thing. 3-3 here, 59 seconds left on the clock. Everything to play for still between these two. $1,000 on the line.
Oh, good angle here from Furiously. Bound is, again, just so elusive. Trying to use those audio cues to find out where he is. Doesn't get the beat out. Oh, turns it around though. One away. He's one away.
One away from the comeback. If he gets this
There's
one.
a little smile on his face.
Oh, yep.
He's trying to keep it cool.
If he gets this one, that'll be it. Bound needs to get the kill to send us to a 5th round here.
The jiggliest of peaks.
Pre-spike. Does not connect.
20 seconds left in this round.
One more sensor usage. Does he get info? Yes, he gets it.
A little bit of info there.
It's big.
Bound's gonna peek.
Goes for the
We
bank
can
shots.
bounce this in here.
Keep on. 10 seconds. 10
I like the
seconds
idea.
left.
Bound!
Gets
Oh,
it.
Bound!
8 seconds left. We don't know what happens when the time ticks down to 0. We're about to find out.
What's inside of the final Russian doll? We do not know. 1 second to go.
Next kill wins. 3-minute overtime. How fitting. We get a 3-minute overtime. Next kill. It's 4-4 in the final round. Next kill wins.
Threat sensor goes down.
Deep in
Threat
overtime.
sensor goes down on the other side as well.
Sword.
The sword has just been picked up by Bound though. Furiously gets some good chunk damage. Drops down to the hill. He's going to try and force Bound to drop, but Bound's going to win it. Bound's going to win it. And the man only wins on that main stage. Furiously took the challenge. Bound accepted it, and Bound will come out on top. But that was fun, man.
That was
These
fun.
show matches are fun.
Man.
Got to give it up to Furiously though. Amazing force. Going down to the final kill, final battle. Love to see it.
Furiously with a chance to quadruple the prize money he earned yesterday from the 1v1 Showdown open bracket, but instead Bound says no, denies it, and takes the $1,000 for himself. Still though, as you said, we got to give a huge credit to Furiously, not just for what he did in the 1v1 Showdown, but of course has made quite a name for himself in the competitive scene as well. It's great to have both him and Bound on the main stage. A fun little way to kick off day 2 here at the Halo World Championship.
And Bound can take that winning spirit back to his team now. Space Station as we get ready for some more serious business. A lot of action to come, and I think we're about ready to get into that action. How do you feel about that? Yeah. Let's go back to Lottie on the desk right now because we've got some big games coming your way today.
Thank you, fellas, and very well done, because that is, of course, a new mode. Congratulations to Bound on the main stage. Nice little chunk of change this morning for him. He was like, yeah, I'll get up early, warm up on the sticks a little bit and something fun and take 1K home with me. I mean, not a bad morning's work from him, so congratulations, Bound and Furiously. I've got to say, you kept it very interesting, and I'm sure Bound on the edge of a seat at times as well, so GG's to you as well. Commiserations, but you will take home a bit of money as well. So amazing stuff. That was really fun. Love to see a new mode in action with some of our pro players and some also extremely talented individuals as well. But we need to get back to the action because there's a lot of stuff happening. I'm hearing cheers over on our side stations because
Somebody
we have
celebrate.
a bunch of action. Optic actually just took game 1
That
right
makes
there.
a lot more sense
Yes,
when you
yes,
hear the
it does.
crowd from over there.
Aqua CTF, I believe it was, but it was starting to get a little bit dicey at times. We do, of course, have a schedule for you guys to know exactly what's coming your way today. We've had our 1v1 showdown, and Bound will take that one by the end of it. And then coming up next on the main stage, Faith versus Cloud9 in our winners quarterfinals, the first round of our championship bracket. And then we're going to fill in the blanks for you guys. So as we go along and figure out who's falling where, who's going forward, we'll make sure we let you know exactly what matchups are coming your way for the rest of the day and into the evening. And then we have our bracket. So this is where all of our teams have ended up heading out of pool play into this bracket. And I gotta say, I'm really, not super surprised with some of the teams that we're seeing in here, but there are a couple who've squeaked their way in. Agave Esports, ITB, who are right now going up against Optic Gaming, and they're also pushing them to the limit for sure. And then Quadrant finding themselves against Space Station. Some really, exciting surprises there. I think Quadrant, this is going to be a really tall order, for them with SSG. This is a really difficult match to find themselves in their first game of winners quarterfinals. That's a really tough round.
Yeah, super tough. I mean, SSG having won the last 2 events, that's probably the one team you didn't want to play. But if you're Quadrant, at least you get to play with kind of house money here in the winners bracket. You beat Sentinels and earned a spot to lose twice before you're eliminated for the tournament now that bracket play has started. So give them your best shot, and if you play like you did yesterday, you might have a chance if SSG come out a little cold, which they have done before. It wouldn't surprise me if that series is a little bit closer than we would expect.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think there is something to be said early on in the day, being able to kind of catch your opponent off, off guard and not having warmed up. We kind of saw that yesterday where we had FaZe going up against Akave Esports, and that's no disrespect to Akave, but, they were definitely a team coming into that 4th seed in their pool. You're expecting a little bit more out of FaZe. They're sleepy. Their alarm clocks clearly hadn't gone off in time. So Akave Esports capitalized on that, but they're also doing pretty well. I think they've carried that momentum. They've carried that belief and confidence with what they, gained from going up against FaZe, pushing them to the limit, getting up on them and having them on the back foot. You do learn an awful lot about your teammates and your confidence level and what you can do with that when you do push some of these Titans to the limit. Tony, how impressed are you with some of our wild cards, our dark horses of the competition?
I mean, I've been really impressed. Like I said, we gave a shout out to Akave Esports earlier, but there's been plenty of other teams like the Darkened sides beating out a Native Gaming and doing their thing to make it into bracket play. Like, when I looked at that bracket over toward the winner side, it's definitely set up for the Big Four to make it through to the semis, but it's anybody's game.
We're going to red zone for a little bit while we get that main stage ready to go for our first round of the winners bracket. Optic Gaming, ITB, they're up 1 in the series right now, are the green wall, but we're into Recharge Slay, and we'll see what ITB can do.
Jimbo able to grab a hold of that camouflage is going to be huge as he tries to get behind Lucid. Big melee out of him, even helping his teammate get rid of dead zone, but so quick to attack the tower side. 6-3 lead for Into the Breach.
Yeah, Into the Breach didn't expect 3 members of Optic to be over there, and because of it, you don't get the power curve that you really want with that camouflage right now. And as this game 2 goes underway, being down 1-0 against Optic Gaming, if Into the Breach want to create an upset of this magnitude, this Slayer is pivotal. You have to win the Slayers if you're the underdog in this series. Off to a good start, 8-3.
4-0 right now is Mighty. Still an assist with it. A good start out of him. And still has a couple shots in this shock. He's going to navigate towards that tower side, tripping from across the map, just barely getting over to the glass side. It's ITB now really starting to take some space.
I love this rotation by Mighty. He's going to relocate after he gives his location up. And look at that. A perfect shot on the dead zone. Not expecting him to be all the way towards Turbine right there. A beautiful pivot straight into pipes. Mighty's starting to pick up back-to-back kills. He started this game off 6-1-0.
Man might be 90 pounds soaking wet, but let me tell you, on the map, he is mighty strong. 6-0, trying to work his way onto a frenzy as Lucid. He's on the glass side.
Oh, that's
he's slowed it down completely.
Ever said, I love you for that.
I got you. I got you to break.
Oh, wow. That was good. There's going to be a player top glass here. Mighty's now slowing it down, and I like this by ITB. You have map control. You have the favorable side. No camo coming up for a little bit now. Can you hold this pipe door by yourself? Are they watching each other's crosses perfectly? Because here comes Optic. You see this chip damage is what they're going to try to capitalize on. Lucid hits the door, and Mighty's takes him down. 7-1-0. Mighty's continuing this streak. It is going to be a 2-2 split, but you'll take that if you're Into the Breach.
At one point, you doubled the scoreline of the opposition, although Optic has put their 8th kill on the board. ITB are doing absolutely phenomenal. It's on the backs of this man, Mighty, still working on that killing frenzy as we notice Chick manning the long haul side. Look at the influence that ITB have on the map. It is locked down.
And look at the strategy. A beautiful job by Mighty's to run out of that first shock rifle ammo and to pivot all the way into pipes, hold that down until the next shock rifle is up. Now Mighty's in a perfect position to potentially continue the spree he is on with a shock rifle in hand.
Still waiting for the cross. He's going to switch places over towards Jimbo. Jimbo had a lot of responsibility over toward that A side. Give it to the hot man. Give it to Mighty's to be able to watch this perimeter with the shock and try to catch it off angle. Try to catch Optic off guard. This is a full tower side defense now, and he's looking to infiltrate it. Catches Trippy, but Trippy gets out with his life. Notices a bit more than he can chew here, so he's going to back out, play his life. I'm loving the way Mighty's playing, but he just got caught.
A risky play for Mighty's does not pay off. He can't hit that first pick on a Trippy, and that was everything for Optic to be able to get enough damage to create some space here. They've been able to trade a couple of kills out, but more importantly, they are out of the back of blue. They were stuck in a terrible position. Camo will be coming up in 16 seconds, and now Optic have a much better chance to compete for it.
18-12 lead still in favor of ITB right now, and notice how they're willing to slow the game down. They're willing to do what Optic do to so many. When you have that lead, dare your opposition to make a play, dare them to make a mistake, and they they are ready to pounce. But off screen, it was Lucid that takes down Wutum. Dead zone going right after Mighty's himself, and that's going to stop or at least slow down the defense for ITB. Here comes Chick.
Yeah, here comes Chick. Can he trade these kills out? This is a big kill on Blue Plat. He's able to trade it out, and Into the Breach will win that scenario. They will go up 7. Once again, a beautiful job by them. Camo, I believe, is burned, but that is a win if you're Into the Breach and you have the lead.
We're going to switch gears over towards Optic to find out what they're going to do to break through the defenses of ITB. The gold side was manned, but they take down one, and now Wutum spawns over toward the back glass side, so reinforcements going to continue to come here for ITB, but can Optic continue to knock them down like dominoes? A flank from Trippy, now a two-pronged attack. Optic Gaming starting to move into their offense, only down by 2.
Into the Breach were stuck top red there, and they could not deal with Optic bait and switching perfectly. Optic have not dropped a kill. All of a sudden, what was once a 7-kill lead at 22-15 is now 23-23, and Dead Zone has the shock rifle. Into the Breach, now for the first time, are on their back feet.
We saw what Mighty's and ITB can do with that shock. Right now, it looks like Lucid is going to get his turn with it. Plenty of ammo to work with. So the same way we saw ITB slow the game down is the same way that Optic are going to do to them. Off screen though, Former with the stick onto Mighty's. The angle from Lucid just barely missing out on that headshot. He's still going to get aggressive. ITB might be retreating here.
I like this by Lucid. He's going to try to relocate into blue where his teammates are starting to push into white. But here comes Into the Breach, bottom mid. Lucid spots both. The shock rifle chain damage does so much to help him in that situation. He ego chows for the killing spree now. Lucid's starting to heat up. He was 1-3 to kick this game off. He is now 7-3-4.
27-24 lead. Optic have control, and now we get to see what ITB look like on their back foot. Jimbo just barely able to stay alive. It looks like ITB won a 3-man push out of the A side. They're trying to break out of their spawn, and back-to-back kills. Although Lucid was able to get the camouflage, can ITB hunt him down? He's on the low ground.
They need to pounce on him faster than they were able to, and right now Lucid is going to be able to make a play here. Does mistake a frag for a plasma there. You could tell the way he bounced it. He thought that that was going to be a frag grenade, but doesn't get that kill. He's going to slow it down and wait for reinforcements. Trippy finds the opening pick, and here comes Optic Gaming. We've seen this before, now up 5, and starting to continue the snowball of the control that this camo is bringing them.
Well, luckily that camouflage does end up running out. Long range shot's gonna connect. Mighty's on the cross toward the long haul side. Trippy chasing down both players. That's a double out of Trippy over toward that gold side. And you see Lucid sees that as an opportunity to make sure that ITB do not spawn on the A side of the map. They want to trap them.
Yeah, Into the Breach is trapped all in pipes, as you can see from the observer mode. And this is Optic slowing it down, playing Optic style Halo. You're up 7. They have the side of the map that can compete for camo stronger than the pipe side right now. Optic have no reason to push until they find enough damage or a pick. You will not see Optic move off of this position.
One thing I've noticed on the other side of here for ITB is for the first time so far, we're seeing Wutum not have the best of games statistically. That aggressive play style, normally amazing for ITB. That damage that they played through, 5-13, not exactly where they want him to be, especially with how early this game is. He has to slow down those deaths.
And sometimes it happens like that on Recharge Slayer. We've seen even the best players fall short, and statistically on Recharge Slayer, it's just not your game. You're not able to pick off a lot of these kills. A lot of this mode comes down to watching each other's crosses, and unfortunately it doesn't seem like Wutum's being able to have the success we saw him have yesterday in ITB's run.
On the opposite side of things, Lucid only dying 4 times. You said it yesterday, you wanted to see Lucid playing at his best, because when he and Formal are providing that firepower, they are dangerous. They're deadly to deal with. A huge stick now out of Lucid. He's covering everybody's back. He's making sure he's involved in every single gunfight. ITB now down by quite a bit. They had so much control. Maybe Jimbo can change things around.
That stick was massive. It gave them man advantage to be able to compete for that camo. And even though that camo gets burned, Formal does so much damage with it and extends this lead back to 7 as they approach the 40 kill mark.
ITB widening their influence once again. They're not just happy with the A side, they're trying to force Optic back toward that gold side. We saw Optic trap them earlier in the gold side of the map. Maybe ITB can do the same to Optic Gaming.
You're gonna need Mighty's to make mighty plays here. Shock rifle in hand, but this pipe door push is going to hit him by surprise if he's not careful. He does throw a nade. takes a tick of damage, but Optic tend not to push that. They don't even want to give Mighties the opportunity to get a few kills to make this a swingable game for Into the Breach right now. And I love how Optic are playing this. They are so comfortable in these situations, finding kills across the map, not giving Mighties anything. And the best chance you have with the shock rifle is hitting Formal as he's grappling across bottom middle. Good luck hitting that one. It's a 3-man push into the breach, into pipes. They are able to take down Lucid. They are able to take down Trippy, but one is traded back. And these trades are so important, Tony, because now when you're past the 40 kill mark, every single kill that Optic get is a win condition in their favor.
ITB able to successfully breach into the gold side of the map, and now Optic forced over to spawn over toward that C side. Is this where ITB want them? Gold side of the map controlled here from Mighties, and now Lucid right back at that perimeter. We saw him do that earlier in the game. Will it work out here for OG? Lucid takes down Mighties.
You got to hit the shot if you want to make the comeback. Mighties can't hit it. Lucid makes him pay for it, extends the lead to 8. Now 8 kills is all Optic Gaming need.
At one point, we were talking about Mighties dropping a frenzy. Now 10-11, they've really shut him down. Have Optic Gaming prioritizing getting him off of the map onto their pushes here. But Wu-Tum runs into the back smack of Formal. Formal has that camouflage. ITB, you are in trouble.
Yeah, every single camo feels like it's gone into Optic's hands, and ever since they've started getting these camos, the control of the map, even just the camo player being alive on the map somewhere, is creating Into the Breach, is forcing Into the Breach to huddle into these tight corridors, and that's where Optic shine bright. They continue to trade these kills, make it Trippy, finding another one, pushing this 46-38.
Big kills out of Optic Gaming. One squad wipe away from taking down ITB. Dead Zone goes right after Jimbo and Trippy from across the map, raining down shots, forcing Mighties away from that angle. These shots are really tough for ITB to deal with. Jimbo thinks there's an opportunity to get aggressive. He ends up getting taken down. Now it's Optic Gaming that only need 2 kills. Chick after Trippy. Lucid somehow stays alive.
Yeah, does he actually know Lucid's below these stairs? Lucid just trying to listen for anything, catch someone off guard, and they don't even check in. They're not able to spot him, and because of it, Lucid's able to do a ton of damage to these players. These players might not die at first, but the Optic Gaming reinforcements show up. They get that 50th kill, and because of it, Optic are able to take up a series lead 2-0.
Good job, lads. Good to hear you on the mics, Castin. We love to hear it. I've got to say, exciting stuff, though, from both sides, but I think Optic Gaming, they just know exactly what they intend to do and where they intend to do, and I think, honestly, that's a big difference maker. You know, you look at Slayers often as a chance for the team who maybe are really trying to push a different level of team to the next, you know, kind of push and momentum and try and switch this series around. And in terms of the Slayers, if you are facing a team like Optic, I think that they just don't let you in on those chances, especially, you know, with their teamwork and their Slayer. If you know exactly how you want to manipulate that other team and the spawns and the rotations around power weapons, and when you have a power weapon guarding each other, Optic do it so perfectly, almost picture perfect. So it's hard to get back into things. And I think that's where you often don't see some of these teams get back in against Optic Gaming. And I think for ITV, they were definitely challenged there.
Yeah, I think Recharge Slayer in and of itself is one that you see tend to slow down a ton. You're responsible for watching a lot of crosses and not really your own lane, as opposed to something like a live fire or an aqua Slayer. And I think that that plays right into Optic's favor, because they know so much, they're so comfortable playing with each other that they, without communication, know to pick up these crosses, know their responsibilities in these situations. And when you play a team that doesn't have their P's and Q's nearly as tight, it's very clear in these moments where there's constructive pushes, Optic Gaming are going to have the upper hand. And it felt like just about every single time when the game slowed down, Optic started to come back and then all of a sudden started to grow their lead. And for ITB, you needed to try and create some chaos there. Unfortunately, it's just very difficult on Recharge because of how the map is laid out.
And that really is what surprised me, because when ITB did have that lead, it did have control, it looked like they were trying to slow it down. They were trying to do what Optic Gaming do to so many other teams. They had the right game plan, but the execution is tough. I mean, Optic is one of the best at slowing down that game, and maybe they knew exactly how to break the defense.
Well, I'll tell you what, we didn't get to talk about them, FaZe versus Cloud9, but we're going to let the gameplay do the talking, because they are far loud enough on that main stage. Day 2, FaZe versus Cloud9 starts right now.
It is winners quarterfinals time. FaZe Clan up against Cloud9. It's time to get back to business. And for these two teams, we really are into the thick of it, Dan.
We really are. It's the reigning, defending world champions to try and keep their territory hot here in Seattle. But they have had a few rocky moments so far this tournament, particularly against Akabe Esports, a 3-2 in pool play, but they were able to get over the finish line in championship form. But on the other side, for Cloud9, again, it's been so close, yet so far from taking down some of these big teams, but they do find themselves in the winner's bracket. I think they'll be delighted with that.
That's important to note. There's been some warning signs, like you say, that Game 5 against Akabe Esports. Cloud9, more than capable of taking you to that Game 5. The issue that we do have, Dan, is Slayers have been a concern for Cloud9, and for FaZe, they have definitely not been.
FaZe are, without a doubt, the best Slayer team that we have in the league at the moment. It was the difference, actually, between the two teams last time they played against each other in both London and previously in the most recent. It has always been that Game 5. It's been a 3-2 in both scenarios. FaZe have been able to clutch up, and I think that maybe is going to be the worry for C9. But that has been the C9 story for the last few events, is we get to a Game 5 and then we lose it. If they see themselves on Slayer Solitude, you really have to be worrying for them, because FaZe have been so icy when it comes to those Game 5s.
And as you can see from the series layout, we go to Aquarius. Capture the Flag is going to be our game number 1. Dan, you've always got the stats. I know you've got something for me.
It's a relatively good chance for Cloud9, because we have seen FaZe start a little bit slow in this tournament so far, so I think there is always that worry that that could happen on the main stage. And despite it used to being one of FaZe's best game types, this season they're actually struggled a little bit here and there when it comes to Aquarius CTF. So we'll have to see whether Cloud9 can use that as an advantage for them. But this is how things have played out so far in the Halo World Championship 2024. FaZe have yet to drop a series, although they have dropped a couple of maps.
Those couple of maps going to Akabe Esports. So they have been taken to a Game 5 already, like we mentioned. And these two teams will be hoping to ride the road on the winner's side all the way to the grand finals. And none more so than FaZe Clan, who are on the hunt for their 4th World Championship rings. Renegade looking for his 3rd, but those other 3 on the main stage, they are no stranger to a championship Sunday here in Seattle.
And I will be very excited when Recharge Slayer comes around, because FaZe are still unbeaten on it throughout the entire season. They are 7-0, so that is going to be a tough task for Cloud9. But of course, that is going to be Game 2. Game 1 is still going to be Aquarius Capture the Flag. I always love starting on Aquarius. I think it sets the pace of a series very well. Is it going to be fast? Is it going to be frantic? Is it going to be scrappy? Or is it going to be a little bit more slow and methodical? There is only one way to find out. It's the Halo World Championship. It is Saturday, and it is the winners' quarterfinals.
The table is set for these two teams. Very different ambitions. For Cloud9, it's bettering what they've done before, beating that top 12 placement, pushing themselves even further forward, being a thorn in the side of these top teams. For FaZe Clan, it's about carrying on the momentum, continuing that good form, beating teams like Cloud9, and showing a real statement of intent. Shields up, weapons hot, we're on board with Royal 2.
You really want to see FaZe playing at their very best in this series. If they are going to retain the Halo World Championship, they have to be breezing past teams like Cloud9, and they have started hot here. 3 are going to be down on the side of C9, and now FaZe can already start to apply some pressure here on Aquarius.
Royal 2's already made his way to the car too. Shots go down, already laying siege to the Cloud9 base. Kills coming through. Snakebite will get another. 2 dead now. Manny and Suspector have to watch Sav and Septify try and stop this push. Unfortunately for FaZe Clan, 2 members of theirs go down as well. Snakebite putting down some long shots. Royal 2 will fall. So the spawns are up. This flag might have to be dropped for just a moment so they can do more damage.
It's a really terrifying angle that Snakebite's taken, though. He's got the backstab potential, but they have been able to creep past and stop that flag for now. Cloud9, though, may just get pinched here, as again, Snakebite still with an angle to do damage, but this flag should be returned.
Snakebite gets a killing spree. The flag does get returned. And all of a sudden, Cloud9 are pushing one forward. Frosty's there in the front base. No shields to play with, but he doesn't care. Straight to the front base. Gets himself the return as well. This one started off hot. FaZe with the early pressure. Cloud9 weathering the storm. Score remains 0-0.
One of those that if Snakebite is able to get that much damage and the rest of the team can clean up, it could have been such an easy cap as well. Just sadly, the C9 members were able to be sneaky enough to avoid his sightlines. It was a good early attempt from FaZe. It's going to be a shame they don't get that first flag on the board. C9, I think they'll be delighted they were able to weather that storm because it was a lot of early pressure.
The C's aren't going to get much easier. This will remain choppy for Cloud9, particularly if FaZe Clan keep continuing to play the way they are here. Snakebite gets a pick. Manny falls. Overshield for Renegade, and now they can start to piece together a push.
And I was wondering if it was going to be fast, if it was going to be frantic. And the game will slow down a little bit as Cloud9 try and worm their way back into this one. Although Manny gets a big kill, and actually now they can see a flag potentially pulled on both sides here. Again, it's Snakebite that's going to be behind enemy lines.
The Snake is a Slytherin right now. Suspector receives a little bit of damage from range. He thought about going for that flag, but he was backed up ultimately. Shield's getting tanked away now. But he continues to play behind Cloud9 here. Continues to be an issue and a concern for them. They can't get comfortable. And as these two teams continue to jostle for position and figure each other out, they've got to keep tabs on Snakebite.
Yeah, he's really annoying what he's doing at the moment because they want to take him out of their engine, they want to find him in their flag, but as soon as they turn their attention, they give up a lot of map presence and they give the possibility of FaZe just taking angles on them. So he is being a massive thorn in the side right now, and they are pretty much just ignoring him. They said actually it's not worth trying to go back, but now they have to focus because he's moving that flag.
Already made it to the halfway point as well. He stops and he waits for help, and it comes. Royal 2 gets one. Royal 2, always ever present when it comes to damage. Snakebite really is one of the best players in the league when it comes to flag running. The speed in which he's able to go out. Renegade gets a double kill, and FaZe Clan will take the lead.
Watch it back the last couple of minutes, analyze it, dissect it, because Snakebite has put on a masterclass of being able to control an enemy's base and then move a flag accordingly. He's such a threat that they actually decided to ignore him and allow him the freedom to roam. Finally, he'll go down. The FaZe do have that lead, and there's going to be another flag move, and you can see Frosty is very quick with it over on the car side.
Ignore Snakebite at your own peril. Frosty's pushing this one in. No damage being done to him. 2-0 as quick as you like.
And I love the structure I'm seeing from FaZe. This is very methodical. They are thinking about every flag run. It is not just being pulled willy-nilly. They're not just trying to force it across the map. Instead, they are gaining control. They are putting players in particular positions so this flag can move. And now Snakebite's going to continue it with the overshield. This is going to be 3 back-to-back flags from FaZe. This is incredible.
Putting on a capture the flag clinic here on Aquarius. Snakebite continues his reign of terror. Faced with 2 members of Cloud9, he's put down. Renegade will fall as well. So now an opportunity for Cloud9 to push forward. All 4 dead for FaZe Clan.
It's a lot to do. 7 minutes to try and get back into this game for Cloud9. And even though they were able to get 4 dead, they don't have the map presence. They don't have someone in a position like Snakebite was to be in that base and to get that flag pulled. So they have to work hard yet again to take a team fight here.
Game 1 so far has been a real statement of intent. Putting other teams on notice, FaZe Clan appear to be doing right now. There's always criticisms of them starting slow. And looking to do that here. 4 dead though for a moment, so Septify has the opportunity to push the flag forward. He's made it pretty far as well. An opportunity to throw it up to his teammate if he needs to. Suspector's going to catch it. Is he? No, he's not. A little fumble. A little bit of moment of panic as well. Not going to cost them too much. They do register one on the board. Now the score, 3-1, Cloud9. Finally on the board.
Not going to cost them there, but a warning sign. You cannot afford to make those kind of mistakes against teams like FaZe. Had they been in a position to shut you down, that could have been so detrimental, and they can't afford to do that as the tournament goes on here at the Halo World Championship. Septify does get stuck, and now FaZe will regain a little bit of map control, but you can see Renegade just waiting, hoping he can pounce, and Suspector's going to be the first one to walk into his trap.
The trap was sprung, the cheese was there. Now he can push forward. Sometimes playing a little bit ratty and pay dividends. Now he gains a lot of control for his team, pushes forward and takes control of the opponent's engine. Gonna toss this flag out. Snakebite's got a double kill as well. Renegade's prioritizing staying alive. Perhaps backstabbing this player on the flag as well. Manny's in trouble. World 2 doing a lot of damage. As he backs away to the shroom stairs, Septify is behind World 2 here. The overshield doing quite a lot to keep him alive here, keep him nice and healthy for this next fight. Septify continues to make it a difficult task as Royal 2 will finally jostle with Septify and take him down. It's going to be a trade.
I mean, Septify did really well there against an overshield as well. Did a lot of damage and was able to give him the ring around the rosies, but Renegade gets another kill. He's going to be another player who is going to now look to disrupt the base of Cloud9, but they will sniff him out. 18 kills at the moment for Renegade. Maybe he's going to be in championship form. It's hard to say. It's been such a strange year for FaZe, hasn't it? Because they, of course, had that win in London, and we were like, all right, yeah, no, FaZe, they're going to be the team. They're going to dominate. It's Bandit starts. This is perfect for this squad. And then a few rocky performances in recent tournaments means that there was a lot of questions asked about would they be able to perform at the Halo World Championship. But then the most recent online tournament, they go on to win it, and they look like they are in the perfect form coming into this tournament.
When the pieces line up for FaZe Clan, they truly are a terrifying outfit. The only issue and concern, like you say, rightfully, they've been a little bit inconsistent this season. At London Major, you've seen the best of what they can do. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly with FaZe Clan, and you might even see it all in the same day sometimes. But right now, Frosty 18, 7, and 13. Renegade hitting 20 kills. If they're going to win championships, those two superstars need to find the form, and they are doing so here and now.
This should be the fourth flag, and it's going to be the perfect toss. It is going to be 4-1 with 4 minutes left. Things just gone from bad to worse for Cloud9. It's very unlikely they're going to have the minerals to get back into this game, and then it gets even worse when you look at that map too in this series layout as well. I think FaZe coming into this, they want to make a statement. They want to say to the likes of SSG, to the likes of Optic Gaming, Shopify, that we are here to play. There is not going to be any bum results this time. We'll see you in a winner's semi. We'll see you in the winner's final. We'll see you in the grand final. FaZe want to defend that title.
Title defense is well and truly on. Already here, winners quarterfinals. Time flies when you're having fun. We are always doing that at the Halo World Championships. Septify back down into Blue Engine. Renegade keeping tabs on him, passing that information over to his team. He's being cleared here though. It's good work from Cloud9 as they can continue to push forward. Time's going to start to play a factor here. That plasma grenade's not going to hit Royal 2. The second one will though. Running out of time. We have seen miracles in the past on Aquarius. Can Cloud9 do it? Can they do the unthinkable here? One flag capture away from defeat. They need 3 without reply just to tie this one up.
And Sab has been a key focus for me in this series. He's 13 and 16 at the moment, make it 14 kills on the board. Throughout the season, going up against FaZe, he is averaging 0.5 KD. He has really struggled against this roster. To see him a bit more comfortable in this first game means I think he's learned a lot about how to play against FaZe Clan, because I think as you practice, as you learn, you really need to be looking at the players you're going up against and the play style, and how does that affect you as an individual? Are you doing enough? Are you getting caught out too often? As I say that, Sab is going to be the last remaining player, and this flag's going to be moving again for FaZe.
Manny top P drops down front base, avoids the gun of Royal 2 for a moment, but not long enough as Manny will eventually fall, but Suspectors managed to even the odds just a touch. Snake bites behind enemy lines once more. Really has been a serious issue and concern for Cloud9. The flag's been tossed out. 1v1 with Manny and Renegade. Manny comes out on top this time. They need to keep winning 1v1s just for their confidence that maybe game 2 story can shift a little bit, because they truly are running out of time here.
I would dare say it's near impossible to get 3 flags back in 1 minute 40 against FaZe. We've seen 3 were scored though in very quick fashion when FaZe did it themselves. But sadly, it doesn't look like they're going to be making those kind of mistakes. Suspector's going to try his hardest though to put that first on the board, to give them at least an opportunity, a chance to get those 3 back-to-backs, but you can see where Royal 2 and Renegade are currently positioned. They're going to make it almost impossible.
You can see Spectre was caught between 2 mines, caught between 2 members of FaZe. Royal 2 sitting in his base and Snakebite behind him doing damage. Double kill for the General. Starting to roll forward now. Gets that flag return just to dash the hopes and dreams of Cloud9 of having some sort of miracle comeback. He's been in this base so much that he's almost a landlord, charging Cloud9 rent just to come back to their own base, and he continues to bully.
Great for Cloud9, chance to move the flag and maybe get this 5th and final one in. That would be just FaZe Clan defined right here, wouldn't it? They like to just make sure they dominate in as much of a fashion as possible, and sometimes that is by getting as many flag caps on the board.
Renegade doubled all the way back, wasn't rewarded with the kill. 3 go down for FaZe then. I think they start to feel like this one's already done. Even if this flag gets pulled, So little time remaining now. This is just a consolation prize for Cloud9.
Yep, this game's over. There is not time for Cloud9 to do all of it. It has been a brilliant Aquarius CTF from FaZe, especially those 3 back-to-backs. I definitely want to go back and analyze and see just how they did it, but a lot of it was down to Snakebite. But it's Renegade who will take the plaudits as he gets his 30th kill on the board, and FaZe Clan will take game 1 here in the winners quarterfinals.
Absolutely clinical here. On Saturday, FaZe Clan showing their form, showing their class. And for Cloud9, their woes continue now as we head into a Slayer against the best Slayer team in the league, Dan.
A team that has not lost this particular Slayer as well, all season long. So it does go from bad to worse for Cloud9. And there was moments where Cloud9, they showed some promise and they were competing with FaZe Clan, going toe-to-toe in terms of slays, but it was just the methodical approach from FaZe during that one short period where they were able to get genuinely 3 back-to-back-to-back flags to take the lead. And from that point, Cloud9 were never really going to get back into it. And it was all about positioning. They kind of spread themselves out over the map. Snakebite would be in the base, Renegade would be hunting down the prey, and then you would see Royal 2 and Frosty working in tandem just to try and put as much damage down as possible, listening to the callouts of their teammates. And then the flag runs, almost flawless. They hardly lost a player as they were moving them forward, and sadly for Cloud9, they could just never get back into the game.
And you almost felt like when they had those 4 flag captures on the board that they were starting to play with their food a little bit. Like they could have ended the game whenever they really wanted to. They had pulled the flag out front base a couple of times and opted to double back and slay instead. And you think if they really wanted to, if they had needed that flag capture, they could have gotten it.
Yeah, it's one of those where when you are that far ahead, you don't need to push for it. You're always at a risk. If you do overextend, you try and get that flag, you give a counter cap, and then you lose map control, and then it can snowball out of control. Think of it like any sports game. When you have a lead, you can defend a lead. Sure, FaZe could have gone for it, but why would they when they already had won the game if they just played it a little bit more cautiously? But this is the series layout again. Slayer Recharge is where we are heading. FaZe are 7-0 throughout this season. It is going to be a tough task for Cloud9 to try and take them down here because FaZe are the best slaying team in the league, and I would be surprised if they drop the ball here in the quarterfinals.
It is a real David versus Goliath in the Slayers. Looking at the head-to-head then, Sabinator and Snakebite, a 1.62 versus a 1.42. So they do have Slayers there ready and available, but they just can't put it together. They can't piece those results out. Looking at the deaths per minute as well, 1.29 versus 0.92. Snakebite dying a little bit less, but having a little fewer kills than Sab. But Sab's going to be massive if they're going to win this Slayer.
Yeah, you saw it from Snakebite in that game. He just wanted to stay alive as much as possible. As soon as he's down in a fight, he doesn't over-challenge if he doesn't have the support. So that's why that statistic looks so good. And surviving in Halo Infinite is so important. How many times do you see easy deaths given away, especially in a Slayer? We were joking about it yesterday. When it gets to like 40 kills, everyone says, all right, no more deaths. Just no more deaths from the start. Do it from the very beginning. Play your life a little bit better. Don't be overzealous with your pushes. Don't give up those easy kills. Otherwise, a team like FaZe is going to punish you. For Cloud9 here, if they want to be able to win this entire series, they have to win this game. If they go 2-0 down, I'm starting to worry about their chances at all.
And we talk about Snakebite and being alive so much, prioritizing living. And the reason for that, Dan, is obviously when you die, you're out of the fight for 7, 8, 9 seconds. But if you can live, you can keep your gun firing, you can keep doing damage, and you can keep influencing the game. That's what Cloud9 are going to need to do. Play their lives smartly, get their kills, hunt in packs. It's going to have to be a real smash and grab against the best Slayer team in the league.
Cloud9 haven't been able to get the first camouflage, but it might just be ripped away from them straight away. No, Manny's just about going to be able to survive here, but they are on the hunt, our FaZe Clan. They are getting their noses to the ground here and looking for the camo. They do find him, but at least Manny gets the trade, being a little bit of a sneaky beaver.
Royal 2 is going to spawn up. It's 4v4 on the map now, once again. 2-kill game. It's a Spectre and Manny over towards Glass.
Hey, it looks like they're playing their life here. They've already said it. They said no more deaths right at the start of the game. 5 was enough. No more.
No more mistakes, no more deaths. Happy to sit and wait, lay some traps, lay a foundation to build upon it. Frosty, a little bit weak for the fight. Septified tries to capitalize the damage that was already done. Sab's going to slide in and apply the finishing touches. As I say that, though, elsewhere, Snakebite's picked up a double kill. He continues to do damage. He slides across bottom middle, makes it all the way into Whirlpool. Gets a trade against Sab as well. That's 3 kills for Snakebite, 4-1 and 2. The perfect opening for him, and now a 2-kill game. FaZe in the lead.
Notice how FaZe were hunting in packs there as well. As soon as they recognized that one of the C9 members was on their own, they made sure they pushed him together. Was just a trade, thankfully for Cloud9, but you can see the intent from FaZe is to shut down any individual that might just be on their own.
Renegade, purpose in his eyes, shock rifle in his hands. He's getting information. You can see screen peeking over towards his teammates. Fortunately for him, a beautifully placed sticky grenade from Manny will eliminate him from the equation. The shock rifle will go down. Was there any ammunition left to play with in it though? Frosty got to charge forward and get a kill as well. Looked as though the plasma pistol was going to be to his demise, but ultimately Frosty gets the job done. So a 3-kill game now. FaZe continue to put Slays down on the board. Suspector currently struggling, which is not what you expect to see from him. Typically, he's the one who leads the charge when it comes to the Slays. Currently sitting at 0-1 and 4.
FaZe have not lost a Slayer to Cloud9 all season long, and I think that's always going to be a concern in the back of Cloud9's mind of how do we break this curse against the team that seems unbreakable, especially on a map that they haven't lost all year as well. And you have to try and think outside the box, but to do so, you then maybe expose yourself, you maybe take a few more risks, and FaZe will look to take advantage of that as well.
The trigger discipline from Snakebite, you can hear players sliding all around them. He went in the tower, seen 2 players in front of him, thought that's not the opportunity to shoot, that's not the opportunity to give away where I am.
Remember the days when camouflage was actually camouflage?
Yeah.
And you actually couldn't see someone, or it felt like that, but nowadays, you just get seen so easily, that little shimmer, and your pants are pulled down very quickly.
We need a GA resolution, that's what we need to do. Let's go back to 30 frames per second. Suspector's in tower though. He has gotten himself a kill. He's on the board now. That'll do his confidence the world of good. There's always that little panic you have in yourself when you're playing a Slayer and you're on 0 kills that I really don't want to be the guy, the goose, at the Halo World Championships.
16-14, the game very much tight and slow at the moment. And it reminds me of a good old lockout match back in the day. You just wait for that moment to push through. We see Renegade trying to take an angle here, and this should be an easy lineup, but that is a missed opportunity for an easy kill there, and Renegade will know it, but Snakebite is able to at least clean up some damage elsewhere, and Renegade makes up for it.
He lined that one up perfectly. Took a little off the top and the sides. That's a fresh fade. Back to Whirlpool he goes. Septify almost stepped out a little bit too far. Would have paid for it too. Camouflage now scooped up. This is a terrifying combination in the hands of most players. More so when it's Renegade. Septify gets shocked to the core. He continues rolling, double kill for Renegade. The world's his oyster right now as he soars forward towards Sab. He's positioned top elevator, he drops down. He's not long for the world either. And the headshot for good measure when it didn't even need to be.
Well, Renegade is locked in at the moment. He hasn't actually said a word, so I'm convinced that the rest of the team must be coming for him. And I tell you what, let's find out. Let's go to a listening with FaZe Clan and see how they're feeling about this 7-kill lead.
Let's go, one bottom here.
There, bro.
BJ, I'm gonna leave you.
I can watch it. They should be a lot bigger.
Yeah, they're all trapped. Bottom in. Yeah, C-pod on you. One.
Top
Nice.
yard. One bullet shot down.
Bottom yard, 3 hits in. In turbine.
Turbine? Is turbine weak?
Nice. Bottom A.
I'm gonna hit this. Can we fight this? Back in. Yeah, no. We leave here. We leave.
Good call.
In red.
I'm with John.
Two bottom A.
John, we should hit it.
A lot of nades top tower. Okay,
that's fine. Yo, pipe there. They're wrapping red. I'm gonna leave John and go bottom A.
You can watch my cat. Weak bottom A, Step. Step's one at bottom A.
Top A cat,
Top A cat kill me. He's really weak on after. Nice kill.
One shot, red bar, bottom mid. Nice.
Yo, grapples up now.
You did.
Grapple weak. He's weak with batteries. Might have it. I think he has grapple, bro.
They're trying to get to Greg, go BR.
Yo, we got camo on 20, guys. Camo on 20.
Shroud it. No. Top A weak.
Yeah, I'm holding glass.
Camo 15. They're probably just going to wait for camo with grapple.
You might have shotgun.
Two resets,
Okay, I heard that. I got you. I got you. Push him.
To the right, so we went to the right.
Camo 5.
Yeah, you can see the corner, Brad. You can see the corner, Brad. I have
Ego in this game. I am ego in the fucking.
Yeah, John's challenge.
Top red, top red.
One hit Manny.
Neither weak. Neither. Two neither.
John got it. Nice, John.
Nice, I'm living for you guys. I'm gonna live. Yo, one red, one top red. We should kill this guy.
Battle shocks for a bit.
Yo, gonna be bad ledge?
Nice, John has camo shock.
now.
Turn on behind me. Okay, we're going.
Brad might die here.
Brad, me down. Trade it. Top
Nice.
A.
I'm hitting A, hitting bottom A.
Somebody good.
Neither one shot. Manny.
Going down.
Keep playing
Build
yourself.
on bottom A, Matt. Mangler door.
That's my village.
Yo, Manny's unknown. We lost Manny.
Okay, Septifies BR.
Actually, a great listening and a great insight from FaZe Clan, and they do seem very locked. The communication is on point. Very upbeat as well, very confident. I think that's what you want to hear as a FaZe Clan fan. It has you thinking good things maybe around the corner here in the Halo World Championship. Oh my God!
Good things happening right now. Never mind around the corner as Renegade locks in a triple kill, killing spree, and he continues to roll.
Only the triple though. You can see he was desperate to search for more. An 11 kill lead now for FaZe as they look to try and make it 8-0 throughout this season on Recharge Slayer. And Cloud9 just doesn't look like they've been able to find that recipe to try and break down this.
There's a lot to digest during that incident as well. Some of the good things that I was listening to, it wasn't, listen, we always expect one shot here, blah, 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 blah. But we're starting to hear things like, I'm watching your glass, can you watch me, can you keep me alive here? That's the perfect communication that you expect to hear from these teams. FaZe Clan start to play like that, they're a terrifying outfit. Renegades in pipes, getting another kill. 13, 5, and 4. He has only died 4 times in the Slayer so far.
Heard a few times as well, each player kind of hyping each other up, just saying like, nice job when they get a kill. I think that's very important when it comes to chemistry. Maybe goes underappreciated on a team, just boosting your squad mates' morale. You can see Renegade just now is so confident in terms of every fight he pushes, and maybe that's off the back of the confidence from his team in himself. It's another kill. It's another easy fight for him. And now FaZe are only 6 kills away from securing this victory.
Cloud9, their Slayer woes, again, they continue. It's difficult and it's tough to keep harping on about it, but when it's a glaring issue that you have, when there's 2 Slayers in every series, something's got to give, improvements have to be made, and FaZe Clan, we're not interested in giving you any opportunity. They double their series advantage.
Something that FaZe Clan fans, also known as the FaZe Clans, to scream and shout about. They have to try and match the voice of the Optic Green Wall this weekend. The SSG Ultras that will be in the crowd as well. The fan bases certainly will go toe-to-toe, just as the players will throughout the weekend here in Seattle. And I'm expecting this venue to be popping as the tournament goes on, especially as the rest of the open tournaments and the side stations begin to close as well. Sunday is going to be incredible. 2-0 for FaZe Clan, and it is looking like a very smooth ride for them right now.
Looking back at the highlights as well, Renegade just showing exactly what got him on this team to begin with. Why was he the hot prospect a year ago? Why they made that change? Moments like this in big series. Beautiful shots, that shock rifle. Terrifying Cloud9. Every single step they made, he was there. For Cloud9, they find themselves down by 2, having to perform a miracle of a reverse sweep against the current world champions. Game 3 will be live fire strongholds. And we know FaZe Clan are very good at that game type as well.
Yes, they are. It just seems to be a series layout that is a pretty strong one for them. And I mean, it's hard to find a series layout that isn't strong for FaZe. When they have had weak game types in the past and they have cropped up in a couple of series, they go and work on them the next. The Strongholds live fire, I think that Cloud9, they can certainly take something from it. We have seen a lot of success from Cloud9 when it comes to live fire as well. They do move around the map very successfully together, but I'm just concerned with how structured FaZe have been here. This could be a very one-sided Strongholds if Cloud9 do not come quickly out of the blocks.
I think it's important to note as well, Cloud9, for FaZe, this was a potential banana skin, Dan. They've already been taken to a Game 5 previously from this team. So to be 2-0 to the good, playing so well, those first couple of games, Cloud9 didn't really have a sniff at winning the game. This is a real statement from them.
I will say, I'll play devil's advocate, and we did see yesterday in pool play FaZe go 2-up against Akabe, and then it was 2-2, right? So there is still that worry about them not getting it done in 3. Here is an update of the bracket and how it looks, though, here in the Halo World Championship. Space Station and Quadrant is currently 1-1. Shopify will beat Akabe 3-0, Optic beat ITB 3-0, but I wonder, can Quadrant do one over the old boy legend, their old teammate, the MVP of this season, or will Space Station be able to come out on top on that one?
And those two teams, of course, going to a Game 5 in London. The crowd probably hasn't been as loud for Quadrant ever before. So they know what it takes to get to the dance. Unfortunately, though, they don't really practice too many good dance moves when it gets to the Game 5. So what can Quadrant do in that one? Space Station, they're in a series to behold. And Cloud9 then, they're back analyzing their gameplay, talking about the mistakes that were made, the corrections that they can make. And they were a handful.
When you look at that bracket, I mean, FaZe, if they were to go through, they would play SSG if SSG won. We've already seen the higher seeds win in Shopify Rebellion and Optic. Could this be the first time since London that we see all of our top 4 seeds make it into the semi-finals? Because of course, you look at the last couple of events, we've seen someone, you know, drop out, whether it be a poor play performance or losing in quarterfinals, and it's just got to be one of those, I think, where at the World Championships, everyone knows what's on the line, and it seems like our big teams arrive with their very best.
And that was a slight criticism of Rebellion, right? That when they've placed top 3, yeah, they've beaten the teams to get there, but they've never faced any of the big 3 to make it into that championship Sunday. And this could be the time where they'll find their toughest test to make it to that winners or indeed that elimination finals. But Cloud9, they take to the stage once more, and they have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Their backs are very firmly against the wall here. They do have the elimination bracket to fall on if they go down here. And you look at Cloud9, you look at this roster, this team, and their journey throughout the HCS this season. FaZe maybe aren't really their targets, right? They want to be breaking into the top 6. I mean, after last event, they want to break into the top 8 if they're not facing SSG at top 12. Whereas FaZe are looking to get a World Championship. Now, everyone is going to be saying, sure, every team wants to win the World Championship, but I do think you have to have an element of realism when you are approaching these tournaments and knowing who you can beat and maybe who is just one step too far.
At the moment, FaZe Clan proving to be just that for Cloud9. Just a step above. Still time to change it, though. With Stronghold's live fire on the horizon, Dan, there's always players that we look at. We think they're going to be the difference for their team. Who is it going to be for Cloud9?
I think it has to be Snakebite with how he's been playing, especially in the first. Oh, Cloud9.
Cloud9.
I was already locked in.
You're already
is they going to be? I didn't even listen to you. On the side of Cloud9, I mean, Manny's the new kid, right? He's the one who's still got a point to prove since being added to this roster, so I always think there is going to be eyes on him. But at the same time, I'll go back to Sab. In terms of Slayers, he was the one who was really struggling against FaZe, but he seems to have been picking things up in this series. He's having a lot of a better time in terms of finding individual kills, but now needs to put them into fruition where actually those kills turn into objective work for this C9 roster.
FaZe Clan have been a roster for a very long time. Their playbook is thick and it is heavy. For Cloud9, they have not been together that long at all. Their playbook is more like a play pamphlet. But maybe that one play that they do have can turn this game around, this series around. But it has got to start now, or they are heading to the elimination bracket.
It is certainly not over for Cloud9, and that's very important, whilst it may seem that way with how FaZe have been playing so far. All Cloud9 need is that little bit of hope. We've seen it in previous series, is that when they struggle, they really do get down on themselves, but as soon as they have that little bit of momentum, they are one of those squads that seem to find that extra little bit of life.
Boil to it, Snipe. Uses the Quantum to go back green. Clean up Sab. Expertly done from him. Can use it again to get back to the safety of Tower as well, if he requires it. He receives damage he doesn't like, away he goes. You're chasing shadows.
Is there damage you do like?
Yeah, the one you're output.
Oh, okay, yeah. I prefer that damage as well. FaZe's blue team, Cloud9 is red team, just to try and confuse me a little bit more. Just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it looks off. We're getting frazzled. One man not frazzled. It's that man position, top tower. He is getting pressure to touch. Pops the shields to the Spectre. He's got 2 players to his right, though.
Oh my.
Gets a trade somehow, some way. Sab has to settle, and both players might be happy. One shuts down a sniper rifle, the other one thinks, well, the odds were stacked against me in that fight. Now the sniper rifle transitions over towards Manny, but Royal 2 had already used up so much of the ammunition, so it's not going to be a huge win condition for Cloud9 here. The triple cap still locked in for FaZe, although there's been a lot of progress made on A and C. No resets yet. Frosty will contemplate dropping down. Triple cap is now locked in firmly. Cloud9, they're in trouble.
Cloud9 are very much in trouble. This is looking like FaZe want to prove a point here. Trip cap locked in yet again, all 4 dead on the side of Cloud9. Cloud9 sent so much to try and take down that sniper of Royal 2. They sent an entire firing squad. He was still able to get a trade. And then all the meanwhile, FaZe were like, okay, well, we'll just capture B and keep working on the objective. And now they're 114 points up here. This was my concern when I looked at this map in mode, especially with how this series has been going. FaZe are in full flow. Their confidence is shining here.
None shining brighter right now than Snake Bites. 5-2 and 2, commando in hand. Quantum translocator as well. He's got some goodies to play with. Looking to backstab again. He's been doing that all series long. Cleaning up the pieces, picking them up. Food and drink for the general as he continues to march. Triple kill for Snakebite.
Triple kill with a pistol is always something you want to see, especially if you're a Halo 5 kid, may I add. A, B, and C locked in yet again. A is going to be the spawn for Cloud9, and they are just desperate to try and escape their spawn. They're desperate to try and put a point on the board at this point. And I wonder, when you get to this scenario, in the back of your heads, you're just thinking, all right, can we just get this over with? Let's start thinking about the elimination bracket.
3 members of Cloud9 like rats scurrying down bottom middle. As the Exterminator closed in, Snakebite still has that pistol, but Septify finally shuts him down. They're still losing so many points, hemorrhaging points right now. They have got to get in these hills.
I mean, it's called the Rat Tunnel for a reason. Cloud9 were able to use it to escape and maybe get their first points on the board here, which they will. So FaZe, for all their control, they have a 174-point lead. But on Strongholds, as we know, comebacks are possible. And Cloud9 need to hold on to that little glimmer of hope that maybe they can come back here against FaZe. It could all start with this sniper rifle. A few body shots, 3 bullets in the chamber. Well, 1 bullet in the chamber, 2 in the rest of the stock. If Sab can hit some big shots, it might just allow them to gain a lot of map control here and put some points on the board.
The comeback is possible. Just how probable is it, though? Septify will get a kill on the Royal 2. That'll help the cause. No end. 3 dead for FaZe. Now Cloud9 can get a real foothold in this game. Something to build upon here. But they've got to keep applying the pressure. They gave up so many points. 1 or 2 more mistakes in this series is done and dusted.
Septify taking an angle on bridge. His job at the moment is just protect C with his life. There's a lot of angles to check when you are trying to protect C as well. You're very vulnerable from all these different positions. I hate holding C, I will say. But Septify has done a good job. And Cloud9 will temporarily have a trip cap. The battle is going to be over towards A though, so Septify is going to have a quiet time temporarily.
Alternatively, B is quite peaceful sometimes. If you're just sitting there watching sandbags, like you can almost play some music. Do 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 do.
Your teammates are in.
The guy in tower's at war, and I'm just sitting in green. Oh, green's good, boys. I've got it covered here. Frost is on sandbags though. Septify.
He's got a brew whilst everyone else is actually playing the game. Sometimes, I mean, I imagine that's how some FaZe Clan players feel when the rest of their team is popping off. You can just sit there whilst Renegade is just destroying the world. It must be so enjoyable to play alongside some of the greatest to ever do it. Renegade can't quite lock that kill in.
FaZe Clan close to passing that 200-point threshold then. You just see the light in this series starting to go out for Cloud9. Manny's in trouble again. Took 6 shots to take him down. Frosty almost hit him with 5. Spectre. He's back green as well. It's getting a little bit desperate now, a little bit scattergun approach. They really don't have an answer to the aggression and the pressure being applied by FaZe.
Such good angles they're being taken from these FaZe Clan members as well. Frosty reads the game so successfully. Cloud9 do respond well off spawn though, just to make sure that they will continue to score and continue to stay in this game and this series. But it's how FaZe just listen to the rest of the team. They hear where the damage is being done and they don't just kind of throw themselves at the players. Instead they think, well, where would I go if I was getting shot? Oh, I might go over towards bridge just to try and avoid the damage that's arriving from C, for example, and then you get an easy cleanup. Brilliant minds that we're witnessing on the main stage at the moment, and to be playing like this, I think on a Saturday, does bode well for FaZe's chances as we move forward in this tournament, because they need to be at their very best. You've got to think back to the last couple of tournaments. They have very much struggled. They have not been able to replicate that success of London. If they want to go toe-to-toe with SSG or Quadrant in the semi-finals, they need to be playing tip-top.
They really have limped through the upper side and the elimination bracket at times. They are striding forward here. Cloud9, though, they have control of the strongholds for now, A and B. They did have C for a moment, so a momentary trip cap. And they just now starting to piece something together here, starting to eat away at that lead, starting to be more of an issue, more of a concern for FaZe.
Yeah, FaZe did take a step back. I think FaZe was starting to try and match Cloud9's pace, and they were like, actually, we're giving up a lot of time. Let's just be a little bit more patient. Let's sit back. Let's wait until we are all up, and then we can actually make a plan of action of how we want to break this setup. And now it's successful. They are going to be able to gain a little bit more control. Renegade will be able to hold C. They do break A. They don't break A. I lied.
A remains unbroken. And as a result of that, Renegade's going to venture in towards B. He realized he should have been somewhere to help his team, but the call must have been hold C. We'll get the job done over towards A. Cloud9 holds strong, though they hold the lines. Manny's in trouble to be a victim of the sniper rifle of Renegade. He has turned back and collapsed. Cloud9 back inside B now, so they're starting to rotate very well there, Cloud9, despite the fact that they went 3 dead. They are still contesting B here. Renegade's got a backstab onto Sav, though, on big window. He's not going to have the timing, but he is going to be able to capture A relatively uncontested. They'll get A, they'll control B, they'll lose C. FaZe Clan scoring once more.
It's been a good comeback from Cloud9. I do think FaZe have given up a little bit of extra time, just again, by being patient. Knowing that they have that wiggle room. Again, it's just about recognizing the game that's in front of you and how much time you actually have to play with. They just played the long game and they've been successful because of it, and now they have been scoring. It was all a battle to try and force Cloud9 off of some of their more advantageous spots, take them and take the fight to them on some of these strongholds, and now they're closing in on a series win.
Cloud9 have got to take risks. No more errors can be made. Suspector's no shield, he can't move, he's pinned back. And as a result, FaZe Clan clean sweep Cloud9, and they march forward.
Well, the first potential banana skin on FaZe Clan's journey towards retaining the Halo World Championship is comfortably avoided. They'll head into the winners semi-finals. SSG or Quadrant awaits. Are FaZe Clan looking like they are in championship form here in Seattle? Certainly, they did not show many weaknesses against Cloud9.
There is something about being at the World Championships with FaZe Clan. They have this aura. They always show up to the big one. And are we seeing that now? Are they finding their form at the perfect moment?
I think that's what you've got to do when you look at this year. You look at the year that FaZe has had, and we know what type of squad FaZe are as well. We know what the individuals are like. They bloody hate losing, let's be completely honest, and they will go back, they will analyze, they will VOD review, and they will make sure they are bigger and better at every single event. But the rest of the competition has been doing that as well, and I think FaZe maybe aren't used to all these other teams doing exactly what they do. They have pushed SSG to work harder. They have pushed Optic Gaming to work harder. They pushed Shopify Rebellion to continue to work harder. And we have such a competitive top 4. And FaZe Clan are going to have to be at their very best if they want to win another World Championship.
I remember speaking to some of the FaZe boys at previous World Championships, and they actually said, I hate losing more than I like winning. Wow, that's really the sort of headspace they are in. They would rather not lose than actually chase the win. But what I do know is Blaze on the main stage with Renegade. He's got an interview. Take it away, fella.
Sure, Seattle, show some love to FaZe Clan your defending world champions, kicking off the champ bracket with a hot 3-0. I got Renegade with me on the main stage, and Renegade, this Cloud9 squad, you know, dark horse in this tournament. Last time they played y'all, it was a 3-2 victory for you. Close series, but what was the game plan going in here for you guys to get a clean 3-0 the way that you did?
Well, I know going into it, we knew the game types, and we knew we were pretty confident in those game types. I think this team is still a really good team, and still could be a lot of teams in the lower bracket, but I think we're coming to final form.
I think you guys definitely are coming to final form here on the main stage. You know, sometimes you guys can, overslay too much and let little things slip by you, but I didn't see anything of that in this series. Okay, you guys controlled the pace very, very well. Is that something that you've been working on?
Yeah, that's definitely what we've been working on. We've been working on making sure, everyone's comfortable, and as long as everyone's comfortable, we can all be really efficient when it comes to the OBJ, and if we're efficient when it comes to the OBJ and we get the kills, we should get the job done.
Definitely will, okay? Because, like, that Slayer, you guys were from the jump playing it like it was a 45-45 from the first few kills, just keeping that slow and methodical and picking up those kills. You had even a fantastic game on that second map right there, snapping, okay? All right, now lastly, what do you want to say to these FaZe fans in the crowd that's been cheering you on? They've been loud over there the whole time.
Hey, shout out to the FaZe fans. We hear you guys. Playing with this type of passion just makes me ready, ready to go for the rest of the tournament.
It's Worlds, baby. FaZe Clan ready to go for it all yet again. That's going to do it for us on the desk. Lot, take us away.
Thank you so much, Blaze. Well, you can see Renegade's very happy with that. And why wouldn't you be at this moment in time? Cloud9, they're not an easy team. They're a team that have definitely showed growth. They've showed contention coming into this season and the World Championships. FaZe went on that stage and showed exactly what they need to do, and that is dominate. They need to show a really convincing performance. I think not just for us, not just for the fans, but for themselves. They're a team that really thrive off momentum and mentality. And if they're going into a situation where they know that they can win, and they do just that, if not exceed their expectations, that bodes really well for them. What did you think of this series, Clutch?
Yeah, I think it started with game one and Renegade having the game he had. 30 kills to his name in this game, and Renegade maybe had a quiet Friday at Worlds, and you wondered, is Renegade going to be able to catch fire here, and how scary this FaZe roster is when Renegade's playing like the best player in the world? There's a reason he's one of the 3 banners hanging up over the side of this venue right now, and Renegade looked every bit of ready for a championship run here this entire series. This is what you love to see. This is what you know Renegade to be. And when he's playing like that and he gets fired up, he's a very emotional player. Like you said, they play off momentum. When Renegade is feeling himself, he is by far one of the most dangerous players in the world.
And when he's playing like that, he's probably one of my favorite players to watch. You can tell by the way that reticle placement is, that way it moves, that he's feeling himself. That practice is now turned to muscle memory. Some call it flow state. I think what Goku calls it ultra instinct. It's just when that practice comes in and it turns into muscle memory, dude, the game slows down for him. It looks almost easy at times.
I think one of the big differences we're seeing right now with this roster is, yes, we've seen them outslay opponents and actually lose a map, quite significantly outslaying them. The efficiency is really at a forefront right now. They know that's exactly what they needed to work on coming into this Worlds, and they've done just exactly that. I think you're looking across the board now at the stats, and for me, it screams teamwork. You're looking across all of these. Yes, individually, Renegade was looking fired. That's what you want. You want your individual Slayer to look incredible, but the teamwork had to be there. It was so imperative that we saw them work together, and Clutch, they did just that. You know, Cloud9 required some teamwork.
When you look at these numbers, Frosty's numbers are what sticks out to me. Maybe not on his screen a ton that series because Renegade was the one with the power weapons, making plays, making flashy kills. But Frosty leads the team in damage, and we know what a superstar Frosty can be as well. For him to lead this team in damage says everything about how he's playing as an individual, and that is a scary duo to get hot.
I think just to know as well, Septifying Cloud9 also leading the charge for his team. I did note him yesterday. He's also excelling on his own front as well. I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the brackets. But on the winner side of things, as you can see, FaZe, they are ready to go in their semi-finals. They'll find out who will be joining them. We do have a winners quarterfinals happening right now. Space Station versus Quadrant. As you can see, Quadrant, they managed to get that first game as well. But this was game 3. It was 1-1. They managed to get the Slayer, and this was getting awfully close. Tony, look at these. This is unbelievable stuff. Tiny margins, really squeaking things out here. And Space Station Gaming, they stand strong. They managed to get it done, and obviously the ice is coming forward. There's something that Quadrant, you know, have to learn and get experience on, but this was getting a bit tight.
Yeah, man, look at Quadrant at control. They had a nice little double catch, and Bound drops a multi-kill and just flips around, almost a trip cap for a bit, and then right back into that Charlie and Bravo control, and looks like SSG gonna take the lead here. That's quite the movement out of Bound and quite the plays at SSG.
Yeah, I think something that, you know, we were discussing watching this off screen, I had it up on the desk as well, is Clutch mentioned that, you know, it's never really over until it's over. You're looking at the scoreline here, and yes, it's awfully tight, and things keep turning into the favor of which other team, etc., whatever moment. The decisions that come forward from these teams in order which way to rotate, where do they want to go, which cap are they going to go for, you know, these are really big decisions. In these moments, you're favoring Space Station Gaming. How did you feel about Quadrant and their kind of decisions being made towards the end of this one?
I mean, Space Station's forcing the hand of Quadrant when they have that control. They can kind of sit back. Quadrant had to make the move, and unfortunately, they were getting way too much damage received before they were really able to locate any of the SSG members there towards the end, so they come out short. The big thing for me is, I mean, Strongholds has been a staple for a team like Quadrant to try and create upsets of that magnitude against SSG, so losing that mode hurts a lot, because if they can't get it done in the Strongholds, I don't like their chances in a lot of other of the objective modes outside Slayers.
Yeah, I gotta say that was probably a big turning point for them in that series. I'm interested to see how that bodes for them for the rest of it. Can they keep up? Can they make this happen? Can they go the distance to that Game 5? I mean, they squeaked out the Slayer there as well, so maybe they do have a chance in that Game 5 situation, but they need to get there first. Looking at the elimination bracket, as you can see, Cloud9 Pure is set for our round 1 because Cloud9 will fall down, and that's an awfully difficult team to be meeting when your back's against the wall. You're a little bit, I probably would say, I don't know, a bit bothered by how that went down with FaZe. You're probably hoping that was a little bit closer and that you could maybe take them in that series, at least push them to another map, but they weren't in for it. They weren't ready. Can they be ready for Pure? That is the question, because it is coming on our screens next on the main stage, and I'm excited to see Pure because they've had a really rough tournament, Tony, so far. It hasn't gone to plan for them, so the bounce back is on. Do you believe they can do it day 2?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know that Cloud9 are a very good team, but so are Pure. It wasn't too long ago where Pure got a top 4 finish. So, Pure, if you really are a contender as opposed to a pretender, like you said yesterday, you're going to have to come out hot. You're going to have to beat a very hungry Cloud9 roster.
All right, well, it's going to be our first elimination match coming your way on the main stage. Cloud9 versus Pure, backs against the wall, coming your way right after this.
The 2024 Halo World Championship is presented by AMD.
some might say. The flag is moving. Both flags the hog is rolling. But they've got to get that flag back home.
Look at this. You got another hog on the other side as well. Dual hogs. Now return. Just hitting it. Team Walsh, she ties the series.
Hello folks and welcome back to Seattle, Washington, your Halo World Championships 2024, and we're also celebrating 10 wonderful years of the HCS. And just coming out of the break, you may have seen quite an iconic duo on the main stage. And they were getting pretty heated up there because Golden Boy and Walshy absolutely love to give each other some trouble. I was going to say a very bad word then, and I cannot say that on camera, but you probably know what I was going to say. They do enjoy giving themselves, I don't know, a pat on the back as well on that main stage. And so far has been pretty good for Golden Boy in that iconic, legendary showdown. Do you remember watching that? It was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it like this. There's got to be an asterisk next to those wins because the Golden Boys teams are stacked to the brim. We're doing Dave Walsh a disservice. We all know if they were to play in a one-on-one atmosphere, what would happen to poor GP. So I'm a Dave Walsh fan. I'll defend him to the end of time.
Well, at the end of the day, I think Golden Boy needed all the help he can get. You know, Walshy did say it's like taking candy from a baby. And if that's the case, then I don't think Walshy had any trouble potentially with whatever team Golden Boy showed up with, if it is taking candy from a baby. So
You're a cheater.
I don't know.
He's looking over. He's making a scene.
Just letting you know. I think it.
As GB always does, he makes this all about him.
I'm going to back up my Halo father, okay? The Golden Boy, all right? Just got to give it. But no, iconic moments and iconic moments to come on this main stage because we're getting into this next series, and it's going to be Pure versus Cloud9, both with their backs against the wall in the safety net right now of our Halo World Championships. And that main stage is where it all gets done. Who can start to get some fire under their chairs, because they're going to certainly need it. This is quite a long journey. We're really kind of into the start of our Saturday here at Worlds, and they need to find some momentum. They need to find a purpose here to get back to that trophy position. Now, looking at Pure, first of all, we haven't really seen them much on our main stage. We saw them in Atlanta. I think the whole world saw them in Atlanta. I mean, going up against FaZe in Atlanta, that was what we needed to inspire us with this roster. We needed to see something that showed us an oomph. You know, what can we do to get behind them? And right now, we're not seeing that heading into Worlds. And Clutch, how do you feel about this potential bounce back going up against Cloud9?
I feel good about Pure's opportunity here. I think they had a very strong series against SSG yesterday that gave me confidence that against teams that aren't SSG, they're going to have a good chance to take them down. Cloud9 coming off a very bad 3-0 against FaZe. You know, Cloud9 want to rebound quickly, but when you get thrown from one series that you just got bodied in into the next series immediately, you're not even unplugging your controller, you're actually staying put. That's a very scary feeling. Figuring out a way to rebound is going to be important for Cloud9, but Pure have got to pounce early in this first game.
I think in terms of Cloud9, though, I'm a little bit worried about how they're going to be breaking Pure down, because I think their chances right now in terms of the series layout are going to be difficult. That third map is really, for me, where they potentially could start to turn the series around, but that would be a reverse sweep situation. Those first two are going to be big to try and answer back to Pure, because right now it's favoring Pure. How are you feeling about this C9 roster and what they can potentially do against them?
Well, as you saw in that graphic, when it comes to Cloud9, it's really about Pure's, game type and their map pool. Going into this tournament, they were undefeated in oddball. You saw they have one loss. That happened literally just yesterday. They are still a very strong oddball roster. And one thing that was down there was King of the Hill, not exactly their strongest game type. Well, as of right now, Cloud9 undefeated in King of the Hill. So when it comes to those map and game mode combinations, like, yes, game number one might be tough for Cloud9, especially with how good Pure are, but the rest of the series is winnable if you're a C9 fan.
All right, well, it's a challenge on that main stage right now to keep your tournament alive. A lot of repercussions for both of these teams. Can they get it done in this final series for one of them? We'll have to find out. It's Cloud9 versus Pure happening right now.
And here we go. It is now time to send home a team here at the Halo World Championship. Is it going to be Pure? Is it going to be Cloud9? We'll find out after this. Welcome, everyone. I'm Golden Boy alongside Walsh. We're going to be calling all the action here as we get ready today. And, you know, I like casting these types of matches here because, you know, these are two teams of players that we're going to be talking about for a very long time. A lot of young talent on this team. A lot of, you know, also veterans who have been playing in, like, H5. And
a lot of deep world runs from these players that are on the stage.
Exactly.
But also keep in mind, when we went to our predictions, 5 of us casters predicted both of these teams as our wildcard teams. One of them exiting here early on Saturday in that 9 through 12 spot. So we're going to see which one gets off to a hot start here and which one can make a run a little bit further down.
Yeah, that actually is an excellent point there, Dave, because these are two teams that have had so much hype coming into them. Well, Pure, C9, I think the hype for them really started to build coming out of SLC, but let's just go ahead and jump into the action here and see what's going on, because as it stands right now, you got 3 down for Pure, 3 down for C9. It's a little bit of a battle royale in the middle there, just to fight for that camo.
Yeah, I mean, last shot spotted out so many of them, and sure, you might be able to pick off that player who's down near the camo side, but when you have too many players down low over in that Mangler pit, you're just asking to get collapsed on.
That's a dangerous position to put yourself in if you're not careful here, but Taulik, let's see what he can do with this, and this camo in hand. And also got the shock rifle to boot. So remember, folks, the name of the game, Oddball. You want to be able to just secure that, get those points, get those rounds. You got 2 rounds to win, and you pick up the dub. So it's very different if you're joining us. You know, a little update if you're joining us and hadn't watched for a little while. Maybe you're watching some H3, you know. Been a bit.
And a rare miss right there from Druck, seeing that player clambering up, but
especially
great
with how
ball rotation here from Cherish.
And that lineup looks good. Oh, there he goes. He ended up getting it there.
It's always how it goes, though. Like, you know, you'll get all the difficult shots, and then like it comes down to an easy one. It's like, wait a second, what's the mix-up here?
Well, it's always the one where it's like, oh man, I got this dude, and then I'm like slowing down, and then my crosshairs all over the place. I feel that there, but Septify now is going to try and see if he can go in for the challenge, but a beautiful play there with that shock rifle, trying to get the triple kill, but doesn't work out for him. He's got to get out of dodge with that, though. He only has no ammo reel left on that shock rifle, but he'll go ahead and grab that oddball courtesy of that grapple shot. But saw there, I think it was a disconnect there, so we'll go ahead and jump in or figure out what's going on. I don't know what it was. I'm just yapping. I'm just making it up.
Maybe Druck's hands were on fire.
Yeah.
How he was shooting there?
Yeah, maybe.
Could be some malfunctions there, but we'll find out what's going on.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to go over to the B Street, check out what's going on with ITB and Complexity. And wow, I tell you, Dave, another thing too, I really did not expect to see Complexity in this position, given how they've really found a rhythm coming into SLC and even out of that event, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they made the upsets in pool play. They made a deep run, obviously at SLC, so great job by Complexity, but they got the work cut out for them. Right here, ITB, Complexity, both these squads are like teams that were expecting to potentially make like a 5-6 run here at the event. But a lot of surprising squads going to be exiting in the 9 through 12 range.
Yeah, the competition is as fierce as it's ever been in Halo Infinite.
Yeah, and you could also make an argument like over SLC, there's times where, you know, a squad like Cloud9 had to get knocked out by SSG in the 9 through 12 range. Here, these teams have no excuses. They're going against teams of their own caliber. Yeah. This isn't one of the big 3 or big 4 that got knocked down early due to a pool play upset by Complexity.
Yeah, and you know, that closeness is reflected in what we're seeing in the scoreboard there, right? You only got 11 points here for ITB to be able to pick up this first map, and it's looking good. Chick, nice shots there, gets the stick to boot. That's going to be a double kill for him, and they only need a few more points here, ITB, and they'll get this map win, and it's going to be Mighty's running away with this one. Is anyone there to stop him? Breaking shots, going to try his damnedest there, but a teammate, Wooten, was there for the pickup. 5 points remaining for ITB to win this one out, and that ball out in the middle of the whirl, as Wooten's now going to have to reevaluate some things here.
I'm actually really surprised that we didn't see ITB scoop that up after that last fight. I believe it was Mighty's who won that and went towards Pipes. It feels like when you get that initial win off of the closest threat, you just keep grabbing the objective and keep moving it. But there it goes in the hands of Jimbo, trying to scoot on over to Pipes. Gonna get that 99-100. Gonna be game number 1 going into favor for Into the Breach.
Well played by ITB, the European squad looking to stay alive in here at Seattle for the Halo World Championship. But We'll be getting into the action in a moment here for our A-Stream matchup. If you're just joining us, we were checking out Complexity going up against Pure, two teams that a lot of people have called the wild cards coming into this event. And now they're facing each other here, Dave, and very, very, well, disappointing situation for both of them, right? Because I'm sure they would not want to be in this situation fighting for their lives.
No, especially not these rosters. I guess you could argue there are maybe some weaker teams potentially in this first round elimination, round 1, compared to especially like Pure and C9. But like I said, there's no real easy matches here.
Yeah, there really isn't.
Like pool play, yes, there was generally one team that was just ended up being a little weaker in each pool, but at the same time, we've never seen Halo be this close in competitiveness once you get towards like that top 12 range.
Yeah.
There's always been just these tiers. It's always been, here's the top 2 teams or top 3 teams that can fight for first place, but now we already have these other tiers that can take off games, take off sets off the top teams. You have teams that are making miraculous upsets in that 6 through 12 range.
Yeah. And I am getting some updates, by the way. We will have 4 minutes left on the clock. I believe we'll have, I think it was 49 points, if I'm correct. 29, excuse me, 29 points. And that would be for Pure. And of course, our incredible producer, Crystal's in our ear, letting me know everything because Lord knows I don't remember things. So thank you. But we'll be jumping into that in a little bit and we'll give you updates as we go along. So we thank you so much for your patience. But for the time being, though, we'll go ahead and continue to look at the series layout. And I think, you know, to kind of what Tony's point was up there, like, you know, this C9 team is definitely not a squad that you can, you know, sleep on. You know, I know Pure isn't, but the win condition is certainly there. I'm curious to see what happens when we get to that King of the Hill, to Tony's point, if we get to that map 4, because that could very well be a massive win condition for this C9 roster if Pure's not careful. So, you know, they're going to need to get those advantages.
If my memory serves me correctly, we have 3 out of the 8 players there took 3rd place in 2022 World Championship.
Wow.
And then you had Suspector, and I want to say that's the 2015 World Championship where he took 2nd place.
2015 and 2016. I don't remember.
I'm not.
Yo, that was a long time ago.
I'm 40. I can't remember this stuff now. I'm 40.
Wait, you're 40?
I'm 40.
That's crazy. No, he old. Damn. That's wild. I never thought that would happen. No, I'm kidding. It's funny because you're 40, but I look older. I'm falling apart before our very eyes are sweating my butt off on this stage. No idea why. Maybe because the action's so intense. I don't know. But we're getting everything sorted with the players. You can see our officials on stage, making sure everything's all nice and ready to go as we jump into it. But I will say that for both of these teams, the potential for a deep run is very much there. And this elimination round 1 could very well set the stage. But let's actually talk about the bracket and where we are right now, Dave.
Yeah, one thing we didn't have updated before when they were showing it on the analyst desk is that space station did come up.
I literally can't believe that we missed the space station quadrant match, dude. I'm gonna have to pop that one up on Twitter. Why, man? Why? Yeah, that's crazy, man. Sad.
Every single stream, if you want to pop on over to any of those during this time, but don't go anywhere.
Of these teams, though, Dave,
on the A-Stream with me and GB.
Who you feels poised to make that deep run? If you had to just give us the armchair quarterback, you know?
Man, I feel like
Sentinels, right? Or Kave. It has to be one of those two.
I feel like Kave's been the most surprising because they've had a lot of great matches, but for them to take off games off phase and pool play, for them to be showing up the way they are, I wouldn't be surprised to see this upset. But as we're looking here into game number 3, Sentinels off to a 1-0 lead here onto Akave.
Yeah, and this is a, you know, one of the best things about this too is, you know, in case you're not aware, you know, Akave, formerly known as Alpha Esports in Salt Lake City, and a Latin American squad, which is awesome for not just, you know, the region, but also for our sport to just continue to have more global representation from these players across the world here. And you couldn't have asked for better representatives from that Latin American region with Laura Noble, Drift, Acid. The talent is insane. And look at Leo now. He's starting to make this run happen bottom mid, or bottom low, excuse me.
And also one thing I want to call out, not to like stir up any drama, but consider that Akave arguably doesn't have the best Mexican player in the form of tapping buttons.
Yeah.
And so they're doing this without maybe their country's best player. So we'll have to see how teams shake up after this, if tapping buttons maybe rejoins here with something honestly Akave, or if he continues to team up with a lot of these American players. But either way, great options all around there.
I just think that the more we get Latin American players all across, our game, the better it is for our sport. So either way, whether tapping buttons decides to play for a LATAM team, whether Akave continues to stick with the squad, or we get some more squads coming in here to represent the region, it will be awesome. So yeah, it really is incredible. But not to take anything away, we haven't really talked much about Sentinels here. Having a bit of a rough go these last few events. It has not been panning out in their favor. And in fact, this team, Akave, is, when they were known as Alpha, was the squad that made their statement in Salt Lake City. And a killing frenzy there as well for Leor. But they made the statement in SLC by beating Sentinels. So this is kind of a grudge match, if you will.
Absolutely, yeah. You know that squad like Sentinels went back, reviewed that footage, trying to see exactly what they did wrong, and now can Lightning arguably strike twice. They can't say that they got caught off guard this time. They know how strong this team is here in Akave, and there's nothing they can do right now. They're on that killing frenzy and also running the flag.
This man cannot be stopped apparently there, but some shots are starting to connect there. Leroy's got to stay alive. No one's able to help him there just yet, but he gets that flag across, and at the very least, manages to bring it to his teammates.
Now, this one's really going to be decided with this power-up popping up and these snipers.
Get tossed down.
I can't tell if that OS fell off the map. May have fell off the map, but new sniper up on both sides. Are they able to do anything with this?
Attempted flag pull yet again here. This time it's going to be Sentinels going for it. And there is that overshield that you were talking about.
Stop.
Yeah.
This one's going to be real tough to stop. Ubu has OS bringing the way back. 3 down. Leor only one alive, so they're gonna have to let this flag go and use this remaining 5.5 minutes to get some control and get a answering cap.
Yeah, I thought Leor was gonna have an opportunity to make that stop happen, but he got cut down to size, and that is gonna be 2 caps locked in for Sentinels to keep themselves here at the Halo World Championship alive in Seattle.
All right, Lethal on the defense this time, trying to hold off 2 of these members. Is he going to keep this flag run going? It may not just be just that single cap. Might be here a double cap for Sentinels.
Could very well be the game if they end up locking this one in, but Bubu now. He's up sitting top mid. He knows he's got a few players around him. He's hearing those footsteps there, and there goes Leor, who's been on fire this game. Good attempt to just try and go in for the trade, but Leor was wise to that one there. That being said, you got Precision over in the back portion of the tunnel looking to put in this final cap. Is anyone in a position to make the stop happen? They are not, and that is map number 2 for Sentinels.
All right. Kave's tournament life on the lines here. They have to win 2 back-to-back games against Sentinels to continue their Halo World Championship run. Otherwise, it's out. It's kind of ruthless here. Yeah. The World Championships, right? Like, it feels like it's happening fast. I mean, a lot of times we used to be used to a lot of teams getting knocked out early Saturday with the 4 pool play teams, but here we cut the pool play teams on Friday.
Yeah.
Right off the get, we knock out 4 more teams in elimination bracket round 1.
Yeah, it's another one of these matches here as well. You got Complexity, ITB up 1-0, and after we just seen them pick up that map 1 win. And don't forget, everyone, that we will be jumping to the main stage relatively soon, so we'll keep you guys updated on that. But if you also want to tune in on all the action, you can check us out, not just here, but also at twitch.tv/HCS for the V stream, which is what you're seeing right now with commentary. But we'll stick with this action for right now.
We were seeing Mighty absolutely go off in our first series we were watching him with. He was doing that with a shock rifle on recharge. Series didn't go much in their favor as they were fighting against FaZe, which is really tough. But in the end, he still did so much good work with it. Or actually, it was like Optic.
Yeah, well, Complexity do manage to get themselves the camo here. They're down by a sizable amount. We come into this one as they're down by 10. Uh-oh. We're all raggy. Oh, no, let him know, Jimbo. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Ooh.
That's a crime somewhere.
You got some attitude on these boys over here.
I mean, you got to put some stank on it when you get them with the camo and the double melee like that. You got to let them know, Dave.
You know what I mean? It's like, this is, interesting.
Did he try to rocket jump?
He jumped up towards the nest bridge. We haven't really seen, I feel like I haven't seen any nade jumps so far this
Yeah,
turn.
I called a rock jump, but yeah. That was cool. I didn't think that would be a... I would do that and just blow
Also,
myself.
no, that just came in through the last patch, so this is something that hasn't been available
Oh, really?
in patches of Infinite, yeah.
Dude, Jimbo is having fun. Jimbo's having way too much fun. And when Jimbo's having fun, it's a problem. You guys know this, right? This is quite an issue for Complexity to have to find out of here, but ITB so far so good. Let's see what the vet, Jimmy Jim, can do with the S7.
Yeah, and worst thing that he can do here is give up this weapon with a bunch of ammo still in it. So worst case, you're gonna see him do that veteran play. He will jump this off the map, or he'll waste a full clip before he lets this get in the hands of Complexity. This is one of the only ways that Complexity get back in this match. And here comes the pressure. Does not jump it off. Both players die at tower. Now do Complexity have a chance of this? Still gonna be difficult. They're down by 12.
Gotta give Complexity credit on that one. They read the timing perfectly, and I think ITV were really just kind of caught looking there in that moment, because it felt like they were in a position of confidence, but little did they know that Complexity had them read to a T. Now Utamdo is gonna try and push into this one. He finds Ryanub, and he'll be able to wipe him out cleanly, but a beautiful shot there from Breaking Shot, and this is gonna be the guy that you gotta keep your eyes on. If they come back into this one, it will be Breaking Shot making big plays happen.
Yeah, Breaking Shot, seeing what he can do with the snipe, but sometimes you got wonder if it's too little, too late. Right there, gets the help from Huss to finish off Jimbo there. There's 3 unanswered kills there for Complexity, so if you're gonna start a run, that's exactly how you want to go.
Yeah, you get yourself a couple clean shots here with this snipe. You got 3 to work with, but you cannot give up any deaths, and that is unfortunately what ends up happening for Complexity. And for ITB, they're perfectly fine with that. Only 2 frags remaining. Scratch that, make it 1 for ITB to pick up this dub here. Clean shot from Breaking Shot, but he will not be able to get Mighties, and that's going to be ITB up 2-0. And now we'll jump over to the D stream. We're
take a quick breath, GB.
My bad, dude. I was muted.
This is the Omni broadcast.
See, I think they have the other broadcasts up on like other on like there's like an A stream, B stream, C stream, whatever, D stream. I guess we're watching the D one now. Maybe we switch, because some of these I'm not really even like. I would have rather watched Quadrant SSG, to be honest, instead of that. Well, maybe not in that phase game, but man, yeah, it's okay. I guess they have a hard task. Dang, yeah, that's a hard task. I don't even want to like. I was thinking maybe we should like bounce around, but I feel like that's doing too much. I don't know. Let me lock in too, dude. Let me lock in. Maybe we can get it where we can pop up like A, B, C, and D, and then I don't know. Give me a minute. Let me cook here. Let Lep cook, dude. Hashtag let Lep cook. All right.
When you only have it by a sliver versus just getting dominated in the hill. And it looks like Sentinels might bring this one back. Wow. Global trying to rotate it over, giving it up, which I don't blame him.
There's just nothing that they could have done there. They lost the fight that they needed to at the moment that they just could not afford to lose it. And as a result of that, they give up those points. And Akave is going to need to have to clean that up if they're not careful. The Falcated here. Let's see what one of my favorite players can do as he makes his way inside of Yard to look to establish some presence there and start to accrue some progress on that bar.
Nice double team there from Falcated and Boo Boo. And just during this time, as they're fighting them off, they get time in the hill. So great plays there by Sentinels, but it looks like the push is too strong from Akave. Spoke a little too soon. Looks like all the kills going in favor of Sentinels. Now they're gonna have a 2-on-1 in the Yard. But looks like Drift is trying to push towards Yard to make sure that they don't get any favorable spawns and just take up that ground. So even in a situation where Akave just had 1 member alive, they continued that pressure.
Gotta say though, with how it has been back and forth here and the time that continues to tick, I do get a little worried here that, you know, as it gets scrappy, you're gonna see that time drain so much more and so much quicker. So Lethal and company are gonna need to secure this one here. And they're doing a pretty damn good job of that, about over halfway progress, and they're getting the kills that matter. But now you have 3 players down here with 1 off of the respawn. Does Lethal get in there to cause some carnage?
I feel like he waits for his teammate for 1 moment, and there comes the help. Boo Boo and Lethal have the high ground, and they're pushing in. And during this time, it's totally fine. They don't have to get a full setup and control here when you're in a neutral spot like this. You can just grab the time and force Akave to make the push.
Beautiful play by Sentinels. That'll give them the second point. And now the Latin American squad struggling to find some answers here as we make our way over to our next hill, and you already see Sentinels with presence.
Yeah, and it feels like Akave just continually committing. I commended earlier Akave, I believe it was Leor, who pushed in towards Yard to continue the pressure there, and it felt like they broke that setup. But that was an example of a time it worked. It feels like a lot of these other times, they continue this pressure when it's not working, and they are staggering deaths, staggering kills, not having multiple angles to push in from.
Tell you what though, man, if Sentinels can continue to give us this, if Falcade can continue to give us this kind of confidence in the play and the way that Sentinels are really tackling this one, I really want to see what this team can do in the rest of this elimination bracket, because, you know, we always say like legends are forged in the elimination bracket. If there's a team of, you know, scrappy dudes that can figure this one out at the perfect moment, it would be Sentinels. But you also got to factor that for Sen, right? They've really been struggling to find what makes the team tick. So maybe this game right here gives them that confidence in the rest of the bracket, because they're playing really, really well right now. They're shutting them down, not really letting Akave get comfortable in there. And even when they are comfortable and set up, Sentinels have great collapses on them that just do not allow Akave any room to breathe. So really credit where credit's due to how Sentinels are playing this.
Yeah, but you also got to wonder, is there any momentum shift here? You know, does the 3-0 from Shopify hurt Akave versus like Sentinels, who got to come in fresh today, says, all right, we likely are going to play Akave. They probably studied Akave's games last night.
Yeah.
Whereas Akave was on the other side saying, we got to take out Shopify. Let's watch their game. So all about to say, Sentinels are likely more prepared for this match and in a better headspace going into this series.
Yeah, and well, they're going to certainly need it. Continue forward with this one, but once again, you know, when you talk about teams at this level of play, you cannot, by a long shot, count anyone out. Now that that camo is going to be up here, is anyone from Akave in a position to be able to grab it? No, the camo's still going to be up for grabs here. They're sending a lot of players to go and have to do that business to grab it, but now you got to go ahead and cap this one, kid, and Noble does it. So well played from there. I was a little worried that he was going to go all the way to the side to challenge, but it works out in his favor, and now Akave get themselves that first point on the board.
And that's a huge one. At least give some life into this game. Don't force that they have to play perfect Halo for the last 2 minutes of the game. Instead, give themselves a chance, and also got a little bit of time over in that driveway.
Well, folks, if you want to check out more of this Sentinels Akave matchup, you can go ahead and watch over at twitch.tv/HCSBlue. You can also, I believe our buddies over at LVT are probably going to be covering it as well, so you can go ahead and check them out too. So knock yourself out, but we'll be diving into our main stage matchup in just a moment. But man, can't keep my eyes away from the game. I'm looking around like, okay, how are we looking? All right, well.
They're all heated matchups too.
They really are.
We're not seeing like really any domination to their side. I mean, we did see a great double cap there from Sentinels at the end of Forbidden Flag, but otherwise, all these games have been close, neck and neck.
Really has. Now, a reminder to everyone, you know, it's been a little while, but we should be good to go. In this oddball game, Pure has 29 points. Their opponents on the other side, Cloud9, 0, nothing. So they're going to be playing from the back end here. Now it's mostly just due to Pure's great start. We'll see whether or not that lead plays a factor as we get ready for game one, but we're back here again. So it's good. It's good, you know.
Either way, it'll be interesting to see how they go off the break of this recharge ball, because remember how we saw it last time? We had 3 members all sitting over in the Mangler pit, and it was just completely one-sided.
Yeah, and you got to get out of the Mangler.
You can't be there. I mean, it's okay, you know, to back down to there, but I know their strategy wasn't to send 3 people down that spot. They had to, you know, maybe send someone towards Catwalk or a different location, and then someone fell in, and by the time they realized it, 3 of them were down there. It's like, uh-oh, this isn't going to go well, because you just don't have angles to finish off anyone. Someone can easily jump out from any location, challenge even like a 3v1, and then back away and live.
Yeah,
that's what all those players are going to do.
Those opening gambits are really important, especially in these, well, not just in these high stress situations, but they're important in that it get you what you need in the early parts of the game. But when we evaluate how these squads are doing right now and what we should be looking out for here, I think this is interesting, right? Because, you know, you got the good and you got the bad on each side. The good for C9, you got players who have hot starts, but I do think that's kind of interesting that we just talked about that. And then, of course, the no ice and Slayers does scare me a little bit for C9, honestly, especially with the talent that's on that C9 roster.
That is tough, but if I recall the stats correctly as well, I believe C9 was favored, at least in Game 5, if they can make it to there. But yeah, we're going to find out, you know, which of these stats holds true. Is it going to be the oddball team winning here in the form of Pure, or is it going to be Cloud9, the Map 1 Masters? We will find out as we get back to this game when that happens.
And even with, you know, those stats, right? 8-1 record in 2024 for Pure, right? The best team in the HCS on this particular game mode has to give Cloud9 a little bit of pause, so they're certainly going to need to lean on some heavy hitters for the opening fight here to try and see if they can wrestle back a little bit of that lead here. We'll, of course, update you guys. 29 points for Pure, 0 for Cloud9, with 5 minutes on the clock. Excuse me, it was 4 initially, but I believe it got re-evaluated to 5 minutes on the clock. So that is what we're going to be playing.
And based on the pace of that too, I mean, those points are going to go up on the board. So
that's true.
We'll see if it comes into effect.
I mean, dude, Pure having the record that they have and a little bit of a lead at the beginning actually is statistically very good for them here, you know? So I will favor them quite a bit. But, you know, the HCS and the Halo World Championship, everyone brings their A game, so wouldn't be shocked.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see one of these teams make a deep run. Obviously, one of these teams can be exiting 9 through 12, but I wouldn't be surprised to see one of these teams make it into top 6, potentially even upset into top 4. Yeah, you could see. I mean, it's not impossible, but I feel like this is one of the stronger or the strongest elim round 1 matchup.
Yeah, definitely is. All right, well, let's do this for the 15th time, shall we? I'm kidding. All right, oddball recharge. Remember, 29-point lead for Pure to start things off. 5 minutes on the clock. What ends up happening for this opening strat here on both sides, because we were talking about before how that Mangler really just did not play out in the favor of C9, and we got a little bit of an adjustment here on the approach.
A little bit, yeah. 0 people going Mangler bit this time instead of 3 people. So yeah, you can see that starting strat change off quite a bit here. But one thing that's not going to change is Druck's going to likely get that shock rifle one more time. Kind of walks in there. He didn't want to jump straight out towards shock rifle and batteries because it's a little exposed or open there. Yeah. But also didn't expect to run 2 people in an elevator. Usually off the break, people are trying to take up new ground, new positions. Yeah. So walk in the elevator and be like, wait, you guys are still at your spawn? What the heck? We said start.
Come on, guys. We hit the go button. By the way, I don't know if you saw right there, Cherish with the pop off. He ended up getting a really big kill in a dire spot with that camo bottom control there, but finally is going to get neutralized. So now we get Pure with control with that ball. And also, just a reminder, you've seen that 30 points on the board. That was from the restart, so it was at 29, and they just grabbed the ball, so they scrapped themselves up a solitary point there. So now it's going to be Cloud9's turn, and we get to see whether or not that lead is going to fade away.
Wow.
Yeah,
Ground is lobbing your batteries and just jumping from R1 to R2 and bring that all the way in. But I also just felt like they didn't have the set of the control that they needed to bring that ball. So we're gonna have to see if this backfires against Cloud9. But there goes 2 down from last shot.
I think you got your answer there, Dave. It kind of backfired a little bit.
Kind of backfires here, and here comes the final kill. It's gonna be traded out, and that's gonna be ball set up over in the pipes for Pure.
All 4 players wiped away in pipes. In a moment's notice, or rather in a heartbeat. But we'll see how Pure elect to do this here, right? Like, what are they gonna opt to play? Like, what side are they looking to favor, right? And how is the game feeling for them right now? Because that's also a big factor in it too. It's like, hey, are you feeling a little bit better over here to just kind of continue to maintain our side of the map and just pin them down because it's working?
Well, there's one of the answers. After you get a couple kills like that, I expect one of these members of Pure to snag that ball right away, but it looks like they opt to just go for the full slaying round, which I strongly disagree with. Look at this. 4 members here from Pure, all hunting down an elevator rather than grabbing ball and letting Cloud9 go to them. That was a situation where I felt like Cloud9 did a perfect rotation and Pure did not perfectly capitalize on the ball.
We'll see if that ends up being an issue for them here, but Septify does go down. You got Sab who's going to be one shot too. 2 players over toward Whirl. No one's been able to get that ball quite yet. Manny's going to be one shot. And at this point in time, you got so many players weak in the knees here that's just going to be a full clear. So Cloud9 gets removed yet again by Pure. And it feels like in these team fights, like when they go in for a full engagement, right? Everyone's up at full strength. Man, Pure just have their number every time.
Yeah, and it just feels, even though I talk a lot about objective efficiency, end of the day, you need to go somewhat reasonable in the slaying department. And right now, Pure up 20 to 14 in slays, so outslaying by about 50%.
Also, I want to get your thoughts on this though, because the ball's been down for a very long time. Finally gets picked up here, and there were opportunities for them to do it, but it felt like they were just focusing more on just slaying.
Yeah, opportunities for Pure to grab that earlier. I don't feel like Cloud9 had the full-on opportunities, but I always take that snapshot as the round is halfway done. If you think about it, throughout this last 5 minutes, the ball's really only been in hand for about 23 seconds there for Pure, and only 5 seconds for Cloud9. So you start to wonder, is this game going to go to time limit? And when it's not, you need to take advantage of that. You realize you're not getting as many full steps, so you get a slay or 2, grab 5 seconds of time, don't worry about dying, and then rinse and repeat that towards the end of this game, because those 5 seconds, you do that 4 or 5 times, and those second, all of a sudden the game's a little bit closer. You actually have a chance.
Yeah, those the small points, right? Everything counts toward that total, so you want to be able to benefit from it wherever you have those opportunities. And it seems like now Pure is starting to do that. They're trying to move this one around a bit more, get it over to. Ooh, nice shot there from the vet. Suspector hits a nasty perfect. He's got himself that camo too. So now ball gets played due to the push that was coming in on the blue side of the map there.
I forgot I was muted yet again. We're not gonna miss this time. All right, I'm giving you our team right here. Me, Doc, me. I'll pick up Ty, Naded, and Eurobus. There's our team right there. How deep can we go? Only the world knows. My pick for next year.
Entire time trying to chase these players down, get these kills. Pure somehow get the ball in the pipes and have 75 points on the board.
Yeah, and big melee there is going to shut down Druck. 2 players pushing toward that pipe side there, as you can see. I think it's all alongside with Manny and Sab. Last shot along with Druck, looking to coordinate to get these kills. Sab's going to be very weak. He'll run into, I think, Talik here in a moment, but they have, granted, you got Sab just looking to play his life. Smart play there, but they already knew where he was, and they isolated him instantly there.
They're going to drain clock from here on out.
Pretty much.
Pure have such a lead, and at this point, why risk grabbing the ball for 23 seconds when you can just slay it out? Looks like Druck actually was going for the ball, but the play here has to be drain out the clock.
Yeah. 30 seconds down now, getting to the wire in this first round. Pure, if they grab that ball, time stops, you're good, but you're dealing with so much of a climb in the total. You got to get yourself 72 points in order to tie it up, and you're getting outslayed. You're now down 4. There's 10 seconds remaining. GG. That's going to be all she wrote on map number 1. Pure dominating. There's a reason why they're sitting, and they're number 1 with oddball in the HCS.
Yeah, 1 round in their pocket. Still got to get 1 more, but it was complete domination, like you said there.
Yeah.
Even after that reset and Cloud9 getting a better start positionally.
Yeah.
The result wasn't any better.
That was an absolute shutdown there from Pure. Beautifully done. Goes to show the work that they put into this game mode. And I think it's great too, because like, we're like, oh, they should have picked this up. Oh, they could have done this. But ultimately, man, they're feeling it out, right, as they're in the server, and they know like they feel when to go get that ball, when to kind of peel back a bit more. It feels like when it comes to this, it reminds me a lot of like Quadrant early days with Strongholds. It's a great understanding of the mode.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Also reminds me a little bit of like Optic style, where just great ball rotations here coming out.
Yeah.
Even times where it feels like Cloud9 have a decent amount of map control. Pure are able to rotate that ball away, so it's no surprise that they're so strong at the number 1 right now as far as record goes here on Oddball in the HCS.
I thought if Druck had hit that would have been nasty. But yeah, good points there, of course, Dave. And now Pure start right where they left off, and C9, 5 points is all they have been able to grab across these last 2 rounds so far.
They're just chasing.
Yeah, they
feels
really
like they're always like a couple steps behind.
And every time you're like, okay, this is it. This is their opportunity. It seems like Pure have a a plan.
Yeah, Pure has some sort of answer, and right here, yeah, like you said, they pushed all the way back Hydro, and they're in no position whatsoever to get near this new ball play. Now they're taking over pipes, but think about this. Druck had pipes for the last 20, 30 seconds, even before the last ball was played.
Well, let's learn about the methods to their madness. Pure looking great so far here in our oddball recharge game. Let's dive into a listen in.
Collapse on these guys fast. First spotter.
I got one gun. Let me see. One more red pipe door.
Second spotter.
He's combo. He's combo.
Here. That. I have it. Versus Dax. Good reach. We probably can't get time here. I just want to see white. Throw it out. Like white. Right now. Let's get Camo. Yeah, I'm almost one.
Camo's about to be out.
I'm on it. I'm watching
right now. It didn't get out.
Yo, weak ready.
Yo, Tiki right now. What's Tiki?
Watch turban. I'm looking big door. One Bellage. Bellage, turbine grenade me. Watch out bottom mid. Make the pit. He's just saying bottom.
Hold on.
One just spawns out, I think. One just spawns out, I think.
Watch out, Bellage. Throw it out. This is good. It's fine. Take our time. Take our time here.
Spawn top tower, dude.
No deaths.
They're holding the ball fucking half ball, bro.
Up there, you want to get. One turbine, half ball. And glass combo. Watch out, triple corner. He's just in there.
Maybe get take
Nice, good.
Nice, good.
Today.
I'm looking at top eight.
Both on ball. I'm watching you.
Sam just bowled.
Great comms there from Pure, a little chaotic, but you can hear where the plans are coming in. And I love when they were talking about where they were holding the ball. They're like, holding it at half wall. They were like a little insulted by that idea.
Do that. But yeah, they were expecting with it being in that position, there's just too many spots to be able to punish that. You know, somebody over towards top control should be able to get some grenades over there. So I think they were saying that, like you said, more out of confusion or surprise.
Manny, bro.
Living in that pit.
Yeah, he's truly the boy who lived. Because this guy is like in the pit. He's getting bombarded with grenades, still alive. He's one shot in the pit again, and he's manages to hit the shot. Like, Manny is doing some big plays here. He's making it happen for Cloud9. And they managed to get themselves the lead. So we're starting to see the C9 team wake up on oddball, and couldn't have come at a better time for them because they needed it.
Yeah, and he's been doing so much damage and being engaged in so many fights. One thing that's so impressive is, if you think about it, even though he wasn't able to get that finish over at that fight at Control, there were two members sitting over at Control waiting for him to round the corner, looking for him on that area. Before they know it, that person over at Turbine getting shot in the back. And they don't realize that that's Manny. So there's a lot of confusion about where Manny's pushing and rotating. He's creating a lot of chaos there on the Pure side.
It really is, and if he can continue to do that, that will set up Cloud9 for a potential point here on Recharge Ball. Suspector, though, with the camo and the shock rifle. He's only got really one shot with that, though, but one shot is all he really needs, and now he'll get himself that double kill. He's going to make this push happen here. Pure gets themselves the lead, but they have that opportunity. They know that they have the moment, they have the momentum to push into yellow and shut them down and get that ball back.
I like this. We're seeing some faster collapses here from Cloud9. One critique I think I had from round one is that it felt like all those rotations from Pure were so good, and I was giving them credit for those great rotations. But one thing that can counteract that from Cloud9 is just charge across the map. Sometimes you get two down, you can fly across the map, especially if they have ball and pipes. You can jump over towards batteries because they don't have the numbers on the map to punish you for being out in the open.
Yeah, and there's certainly a case to be made here that for C9 and how they have approached it, right? If they can continue to do that, this will be a round win for them. But I do like what we're seeing here from Pure as well, because Druck, my goodness, with a double kill in the back of Control, and Druck looking to just cause carnage and chaos there to prevent them from being able to get into a spot to just shoot across from the ball player that was making his way inside of yellow.
Spectre, feels like we've seen him alive for a lot of time. In fact, look at the amount of deaths the Spectre has compared to everyone else in the game. He has 12 deaths. You gotta wonder, is that him just maybe being too much on the outskirts and away from the fights? We see him trying to get actives, see him pushing around, but then sometimes he's I feel like taking maybe too safe a route, going too much around the perimeter.
And you're not wrong, but I will challenge only that he does have 10 assists there, so he clearly has been putting in as many shots as he can. But you're right, though. He's playing a very, kind of like, I guess, a setup type of game, it seems like, and a slower pace. But, I mean, Suspector's a vet. He's been doing this for a super long time. So I trust his instincts in this situation, but They're going to certainly need to get that ball back and start to accrue some points here. And Suspector's got to be the guy to do it. You got 15 points remaining here, or else you're going to give up this first map.
Just like that, Cherish spots out this Camo player in the form of Suspector. What can Suspector
can't get the kill.
Trying to go for that sticky. Does not get the trade. 2-1. That's going to be round number 2 and game number 1 going in favor of Pure.
Certainly was a few moments there where Pure felt like they were losing grasp of the game, but and that is, of course, a credit to Cloud9 and Manny for what we were seeing him on the flank. We were seeing some, good plays from them too, just trying to get in their face when they realized these rotations were coming in so quickly from Pure. But for Pure, man, the way that they're able to regroup in those moments is really impressive. They're oddball, man. That's some scary stuff, dude.
Yeah, no, they just look so strong throughout. And even though they heavily outslayed round number 1, but round number 2 wasn't that heavily outslain. I want to say they outslayed by like 5 or 7 kills.
Yeah.
If my math was correct.
Yeah, it wasn't all that much there, right? And some big moments there. Good edit on that one. But yeah, it's always good to see the players get hyped up.
That's what we live for in this game. You know what I mean? Like those moments that you win a battle you should not have won.
Yeah.
Especially on the biggest stage when the stakes are the highest.
In an elimination game, right? Going up against a team that's even, who you have squared off with time and time again. Did he just get double stuck?
It looked like he had one his heel as well.
The double stuck Oreo. Look at him. Wow. I don't know if that applies.
I've seen way too many sticky trades. These last
remember SLC was just all stickies?
Way too many sticky
trades. It was all
trades.
stickies.
People not going back to their old fundamentals.
I feel like I was watching FFA on ship, with the amount of stickies that was being thrown around. All right, well, we got Live Fire Slayer coming up next, and then after that, we'll have CTF Forbidden if necessary. We'll move on to King of the Hill Solitude and Slayer Recharge. And these two maps right here, and it goes without saying, a little John Madden of me, but if you allow me for a minute, this is one of these maps they have to win. They have to. You take it to that King of the Hill, you get yourself a fighting chance if you're Cloud9. But it has to come here. It has to come down. And honestly, I think Slayer's a great opportunity for them to do it. Given how they had approached map number 1 and how they were trying to play a bit more of that flank game, maybe that plays out for them here.
Yeah, and let's look at these main Slayers on each side. We got Cherish leading it out on Pure and Sabinator with a 1.13 KD there for Cloud9. However, damage difference, gotta call that out. At some point, he's the main Slayer here on C9, but also negative in the damage department. I guess that's just a result of losing more Slayers.
Also got to talk about Cherish's smoldering look, look at him. What were you trying to tell me there, buddy? You need to get the eye squint, the broken heart.
Is that what it is? I can't tell if he's...
I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be a heart, and then his hand moved aside. Or he messed it up, and he doesn't know how to do the heart thing. It's okay. But yeah, we'll be jumping into map 2 here.
Like you said, Mason, big win here. Needs to come out Cloud9 here, game number 2. One stat that we also saw that was a great one from EasyMac was that Pure on Forbidden CTF, which is game number 3, they have a 0% return rate on their flag. Meaning if you get that flag pulled,
oh dear,
statistically speaking, the other team's going to cap it.
Wow.
To me, that says that Pure, once they get dominated or stuck in their base, they don't have a great defensive setup. But, sometimes the best defense is great offense. And if you don't let them get you pinned in your base and touch your flag, no problem.
Hey, I don't have to put my shield up if I keep punching them in the face. That's the best way to go about it, I guess. But that will be fascinating to see how that plays out when we move into map 2 and whether or not Cloud9 benefit from that. But they will.
They want to go a little more favorable into that game 3.
I couldn't agree more.
Game number 2, right here, it's going to be Live Fire Slayer. We're going to see how these teams decide to kick it off. Who's going to instantly go for that snipe? Is this going to be a fast one or is it going to be slow? Keep in mind, Cloud9 had reviewed this quite a bit. Game 5 Slayer at Salt Lake City. Cloud9 almost took down Space Station Gaming. They had them against the ropes. Space Station, instead of getting 9th through 12th of the event, took first place. So they played that moment over and over again in their heads about what they do during some of those stalemate situations here on Live Fire. Let's see if it comes to fruition here today. in Seattle.
I expect this to be moving, man. I think that these players, if they get that, if they get, you know, just a little bit of that fire in them, I think we're going to be seeing this one end pretty quickly if they just try and like constantly push one another the way that they were in that oddball game. Sabinator, though, have to back out of this one. I like that he's getting a little aggressive with the sniper, but I don't like that he's down low and just in a rough spot, but doesn't manage to get out of there.
Well, Camo's still up. You know he's going to be baiting that. And you also know that Pure are going to be aware of this. They are not just going to jump up and grab that Camo until they lay down a shard to you. That's why you see Cherish going to be poking out this right side silo here in just a moment. Also waiting for them backup.
They have no idea he's there.
They have no idea that he's there. This might be a snag grab. They're not expecting it. But Cherish finally sniffed out. Grenades flying there, and Cherish decides to go back towards key door.
Yeah, that. Imagine if in that moment in time they were like, they're not looking, and then he like jumped up and grabbed it. Would have been the greatest timing. Sabinator, though, I will say, despite him having that snipe, did not really get to do much with it. Got a few body shots, one solid kill with it, but does at the very least give him an early lead here.
Yeah, early lead, no sniper in the hands of Pure, so overall a positive, but like you said, maybe they'd love to see a little bit more work going on the board, but don't worry, because the Spectre's been doing that work. 5 kills, 1 death so far, so any critiques we had of him maybe not being in the engagements in the fights on Recharge, all answered here on Livefire.
My guy just lives. Clearly, that's what it was. Very impressive. Tied game now, though. Pure bring this one right back in, thanks to Talik and Druck now giving them the lead with this one. Last shot gets his third, and that is going to be, or excuse me, his second, and that will be a third kill locked in for Pure, thus giving them the lead, and they're just continuing on. And this is starting to look a little scary now, Dave.
That spawn trap there, it wasn't just Last Shot looking towards dummies, it was also Druck just ready for a player to spawn over there in dummies. I know before there were some complaints around how spawns have changed a bit once Bandit came out, but some of these players have gotten used to it more. They read him a little bit better.
Dude, this kid is nasty, man. He jiggled around that the screen so efficiently, and he was one shot for the whole time there. Keeps himself alive, pulls the tension his way. Spectre now, though, as he makes his way underneath inside of that cave, does not find the success he wants, just 1 kill, really. And this is where things start to get a little scary for Cloud9. Start to see these players, you know, by themselves, getting isolated in these fights. And more camo control here for Pure.
Yeah, second power-up going there for Pure. MC, what about the second snipe? First one was in the hands of Cloud9. Is this one going in the hands of Pure? Is this lead going to extend even further?
There has been comms, Camo's here, so we got to find him. And Druck could not get that clean shot on that player, and instead he's going to get just shut down completely, so removed from that. So no Camo's going to be playing over in the back toward the control area there, but still a 2-kill lead for Pure.
Yeah, Last Shot does have the snipe. Got to rotate away with this. They aren't in a great position here. Just only have 1% nest and stuck kind of over here green. That's what they're trying to rotate out. They all realize that if they get sniffed out in this position near pillars, they're in big trouble. So I like this rotation. Force the aggression before Cloud9 realizes that Pure all stuck in that one area.
Yeah, now with them clearing out tower, and they saw where those where the rotation was, right? Because Last Shot got a body shot on a player that pushed him back and all that. It just let them know exactly where they needed to look. But Last Shot's got to hit those shots. He's getting a man on the slides. It's impressive.
Yeah, and I'm a little confused there, too, from the Cloud9 push. It felt like Cloud9 had more map control prior to that sniper rotating over and getting over towards tower. But it felt like Cloud9 thought that they were all set up at green, and they pushed 2 or 3 people back towards back green. And back green's one of the spots where, like, you spawn there, like, we need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Instead, they had an option of not being at green, and they push over and take green and hold it for a moment.
Yeah, that actually is a good call out there, because I do wonder how much that body shot, Last Shot hit in mid kind of indicated to them, especially with where they were moving. It was like, oh, hey, no, I think they're going to take the snipe over toward green, which kind of goes to the theory that you were talking about there. But then Spectre just runs into 3 of them on tower side. So that kind of led to this run that we're seeing here now from Pure. And even though Last Shot, he's got a few decent shots with that S7, it has been a 4-kill lead here for Pure, and they are continuing to add.
Yeah, and it looks like, you see a lot of these aggressive pushes coming out of Cloud9, and it feels like they're treating it like it's like a late 40s game where people are just post up in one spot. You saw all these nades going towards window, all these people going towards screens, and nobody was actually at that garage door or screen or window.
Yeah.
And they just kind of assumed that there was a setup there. So I feel like Cloud9 almost a bit of a panic play, or just trying to force some action in spots where they don't have the information needed.
Man, oh man, I thought that was a clever play there from Talik to throw down that camo and delay it, but they read that when they pushed at the perfect time, and Cloud9 will manage to remove the camo from play, but they have so much more work that they have to do here, and it doesn't seem like Pure is giving them any quarter to work with.
Yeah, I want to see how Cloud9 decide to swap this up a little bit. Like I said, I feel like they're almost just saying, all right, on the count of 3, let's charge over and take over this area. I think Cloud9 need to get more information, make informed pushes, decide where they're going, and they also don't need to commit towards a push if they don't have the numbers, if they don't have the information, or if they're weak.
So now that C9, you know, they're down a decent amount here, I want to hear how the comps are on the Cloud9 side, so let's go ahead and jump into a listen.
How many drunk guys? Yes, sniper. You're gonna kill me. You there.
I got one.
Nice. Sniper's going pillars. Sniper's going pillars.
Okay.
We're together here, guys.
Nice.
Where's
Sniper? It's on mid. He's A-plat jumping up and down.
Yeah, he's weak.
I'm looking way well.
Yo, go B.
Watch out, you're dead. Be careful. He's dead.
I'm in this.
Snipe set, guys.
Yo, start being a little bit more aggro. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
We have sniper.
I have sniper. We're dead. How many guys here? I'm not dying. Can they be dice?
Three shot.
Go.
You're under.
I'm hitting big. Wish I hit him.
That's
Big. Easy.
Live many. Live. Got him.
Nice. Live. Okay.
They're pushing us, bro.
Got him.
Nice.
I'm here. Hide. I have you.
Take space.
Let me snipe, guys.
One shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go small. Oh, wait, we spawned there. Fuck. They're gonna be on J then. I'm one big drop.
One was my push. They backed up tower.
They're gonna like double up top mid.
I'm going down. Go back. Nice job, Seb. Nice.
Nice.
It's on mid.
It's on nest.
They're probably gonna run. He's stuck.
It's on nest, guys. I'm one.
Stuck. Still there. Stuck there.
Camo 20, guys.
Screen says, two on me.
Yeah,
I'm pushing up.
That's all you ate.
I got one. No, I didn't do it. Do it.
One.
One's A plat, guys.
No, you're there. They're gonna hit you outside.
Watch out.
Top mid.
Play it if you need to.
I'm dead. Got me. Snipes out. Front green now.
We're going tower.
It's in front green now. Gonna go A-plat probably.
Up there.
All right, well, there you heard Cloud9, and one thing that I picked away instantly from that was, let's be more aggressive. That was the thing that stood to me immediately.
And I was also thinking, I don't know if that's really a requirement. You also, you saw how they swapped that up instantly. They're like, I got sniped, let me snipe. And they slowed it down a bit. We saw a little bit of success, but I feel like a lot of commitments, a lot of panic towards finishing and forcing fights. And you saw it from the Pure side is they're just kind of chilling back a little bit. They're saying, all right, they're flying at us. I can back up a little bit, throw this grenade, let them walk in these traps. And Pure just 7-kill lead is going to be really tough for Cloud9 to turn this one around.
Yeah, let this C9 team make some mistakes is what Pure's probably thinking here. And they'll continue to just add on to this lead. Now Talik wants to maybe go for a play with this quantum translocator. That was the play.
Yep, kept a little momentum. It was in a safe spot, but you had to tippy-toe right as you landed out of that QT.
Hey, you know, I respect him for being a little cheeky with that. You know what I mean? He was trying to get into the corner, hide it out a bit more.
Also, that 3, you know, a 7-kill lead now, only a 4-kill lead, so 3 unanswered slays there from Cloud9. Let's see how they ice it up here at the end. I mean, looking really strong so far.
They're all bunched together.
They're
oh my gosh,
lumped up. And sometimes that works, but when you get hit by grenades, that is not going to work out well. Look at this, all trapped in the rat tunnel. Last shot has the opportunity to back away. Rat tunnel has to fight their way out.
And that is going to be Pure benefiting from that fight. So they're just 2 frags away from being able to win game 2. We talked about C9 needing maps like this, needing these map 2 wins in Slayer in order to get to that King of the Hill. But it's going to make the challenge that much more difficult. You only have 2 kills left for Pure to grab, but C9 can very well come back into this one. It's not out of it quite yet, C9. And if they get that S7, if they can bring that one across, maybe clear out these players in mid, they could have an opportunity. And I just saw the snipe was grabbed.
Yeah, it was snagged. And who has it? Manny. Okay, 3 kills.
No dumb deaths.
Now, one thing that Cloud9 needs is just a little bit more ground on the map. It feels like anytime we've seen them, they're all clumped in all 3 or 4 in one spot. So I like this. Spread out towards Nest. They know that Sniper is going to be this fear factor. So Pure aren't going to be able to poke out as confidently. 2 minutes, 15 seconds, plenty of time to get a couple picks. I like this play. Just play it patient. See if someone oversteps.
I want to see Cloud9 just take map control. I just want them to just continuously push forward here, because I feel like at this point in time, with this sniper in your hand, you have...
What they're doing is perfect. I don't think they need to push any further. We've seen a lot of their pushes get shut down and
That's fair.
really
Good call.
die.
Yeah.
You don't want to get some whirlwind at the very end where you're just able to trade out a couple melees here. There's 49. 1 kill more for Pure to close out game number 2. They're pushing against Manny and crew. They get the pick onto Manny.
Oh, man.
Huge picks there at the end, but that got scary for Pure.
That really
got
did.
real scary.
That really did. I thought Pure were going to give that one up. But C9 showing that in these moments, elimination, pressure on, you got to find where those wins are, and you got to dig deep. And credit to C9 in that situation there, because they were at a deficit for a decent amount of that series. I think they were down by 10 at one point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it got to a massive lead. Yeah, I think it was right around 10 there. Cloud9 decided to take a little break, refresh. They realize it's do or die.
Yeah.
Starting with Forbidden Flag. Tournament life on the line here for Cloud9. Pure just have to keep doing what they're doing.
I will say though, man, the forbidden CTF stat that you popped into my head is now creeping in there, and I really want to see it happen.
Just like you almost like, I want to see someone just sprint over there and grab it. What happens? Is it just like they can't stop it? Like, no!
They just get blinders on their eyes. Like, we can't see, they grabbed the flag, oh no! Man, this was certainly one that C9 would have loved to have been able to grab, given how those final moments were. And you're right, Dave, I think that what I always get worried about in these situations, in these high pressure, close situations, is like clumping. Kind of what we saw right there.
Yeah, well, the thing that throws me off is I feel like that clumping strategy is what knocked them out of the tournament in Salt Lake City, and that is a viable strategy in specific situations.
Yeah.
When you're in a spot where you need to get the last couple kills and only give up 1 death or whatever, like you saw from SSG against Cloud9. However, like I said, it's for a closing game strategy. It's not something that you can run throughout the rest of the game, because even if you run through and get those couple kills, all of a sudden you have 3 or 4 people in one spot, and those last 2 people can position, throw some grenades, clear out the rest.
Just a couple of good grenades, and you got yourself 4 kills.
Exactly.
and everything you did is for nothing.
You saw that kind of play out the rat tunnel there. It's just like...
We're going to run through this series. So of the next 3 matches, we'll have Forbidden Solitude and then Recharge for Pure and Cloud9. And then we're going to call it, because we're going to get to got to get to the fights upcoming. But enjoy. We still got the see how far this goes.
What's going on? Finals will be on the main stage. Dave, I have an outfit just like that.
Also, that walkout was so cool. We start doing cool walkouts.
I want to do a cool walkout.
The Hanuman kind, who's like 10 toes in it, walk in there.
Of course, you can check out the fun youtube.com/Halo for our community stage. It's always a good time over there. Our community, freaking awesome. They make some of the coolest cosplay gear I've ever seen for nerd Halo fan like myself. There was even a guy who had a flood. He had like one of the little flood minion dudes. I forget the names off the top of my head. On a little RC car, and was driving around. It was the best thing ever. Oh, they're great. Who's grading the contest? I want to see.
Uber Nick was one of the judges.
Who was it?
Uber Nick was one of the.
Oh, Uber Nick was one of the judges. Oh, there it is. What? It's an RC car with the little flood dude on it. Look at him go. Oh man, I tell you what though, you gotta put some lotion on that. Oh dear. Oh my God. Get some cocoa butter on that or something like that. I don't know, but you gotta take care of it.
Here's the thing is, all right, Halloween decorations in my house, like a 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
Candy at my house, 10 out of 10.
Oh, so how's the candy this year?
I'm always a full-size candy bar house.
Yeah. Oh, you're a full-size candy bar
house. That's right.
Halloween house. Okay.
Exactly. But when it comes to all these costumes and cosplays, we were absolute garbage in my house.
Absolute garbage.
But I'm like, hey kids, I'll buy your love. Here's some candy. Take it.
That's yeah, you love to see that.
Don't vandalize my house.
All right, well, our players are getting back to the stage here. As you can see, C9 making their way out. I think Pure should be joining them in a moment here.
Welcome back. You know they had to have some talks. And like I said, whenever I'm in that situation and I'm having talks with my team as I'm going into a losing series or into a game that you're behind, it's small changes. You can't just swap up everything. You can't say, all right, guys, remember that strategy we practiced all the time long, plan A? We're going to go plan C.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes. Like, it's just small changes. It's like, hey, we need to buy, everyone try to make their lives last a couple seconds longer.
Yeah.
Buy 2 more seconds of time when you're on the back foot and going to die. Make them waste a grenade. Get those small advantages that
Little
add
things,
up.
man.
Just small little things, whether it's communicating a little more, maybe cutting back on the comms if it's getting a little too flooded.
Yeah. There is a plethora of things that can, certainly you can use to your advantage in Halo with how, it's like all those little things, all those little details, right? Small things that you might not be thinking about in that moment in time. These pros, they play this game every day, hours on end. The time that they put into this here, the nooks and the crannies that they understand, and the level of which you're seeing here in Seattle has been so exceptional. I mean, when you go back and you look at like Raleigh, when we kicked off Infinite's HCS stint, it's just such a, it's a different game, it feels like, but also just even seeing some of these players here, the confidence, everything is just, man, it's been so impressive to see these guys grow into the players that they have become. But for C9 though, your back is against the wall. You got to do this. You have to fight back here. It's now or never. And if you don't win this, you're cooked. You're done. Your season's over. But there is an opportunity here, because if Cloud9 managed to pick up this win, go to King of the Hill, statistically, they're looking solid. But, Dave, Pure have been playing great, and they have been shutting things down every opportunity they've had.
You know, to be honest, like Cloud9, they played the end of that last game so well.
Yes, they do that every time.
We looked on the Prowler, it was an 11-kill deficit there at one point. And they turned it into a 2-kill game. So they just tightened that up a little bit more throughout the game, but unfortunately for Cloud9, all 4 go down. Tolic grabbing the flag. Pure has Cloud9 sniper, they have their own sniper, they have the OS, they have everything.
They have every single thing to work with, and they're gonna get themselves a point here. No one seems to be in a position for Cloud9 to make the stop happen. Drux got eyes on Septify, that's as clean as it goes, and Pure is up by 1.
All right, you know like those football movies where you have that locker room halftime talk and everyone's getting pumped, like, we're gonna go back in there. The equivalent of this was like, QB just got sacked, fumbled it, the other team recovers and goes for a touchdown. Like, all right, well, guess that pep talk didn't really amount to much. So that's a little difficult here for Cloud9, as they are already in the hole within the first 30 seconds of Forbidden Flag.
And look, Forbidden's a big old map. So if you're making your way across that fast, something like dreadfully went wrong. Sniper rifle for Cloud9 has been given up too, so that will be cherished with possession of it now. My goodness gracious, just glued to that, man. This is it. I mean, they're just continuing to, they're going to get this flagpole. I don't think anyone's around to be able to try and stop them again.
Look at just how quick and efficient Pure are with it. Pure, what, they have 11 kills so far? 11 kills, and they're going to have 2 flag caps off of 11 kills?
I feel like statistically that's just not
so tough for your Cloud9, because it's not like you've made a bunch of mistakes. Yes, you had a big mistake off the break and things didn't go your way, but to be punched this severely for it, Pure are just on top of it and dominating this game number 3.
And also you have to wonder as well, right? Like game 1, you had a bit of a delay on that stage, and then you get into it, and you don't really contend much against a really talented oddball team. Then you go into Slayer Live Fire, you're getting kind of spanked around a bit, but you make that big comeback happen. You get 11 big kills, you come back from an 11 kill lead, excuse me, and you cannot lock it up in the end. So for Cloud9, it has to be frustrating to play against this Pure team when they're eking out these wins in those moments.
Yeah, and honestly, based on the way that Pure are playing right now, so far in this game, I feel like you just want to try and close this out quick.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of time in this clock where if you just start to try to slay and play defensive for 9 minutes, Cloud9 could slowly and surely get back to this game. While they're down, kick them. Pure, if they want to close out the series, grab that 3rd flag, get these next couple slays. They've been super efficient with it. Close it out.
Walshy, schoolyard bully confirmed. There it is. We just found out while they're down, kick them while they're down. But I do agree with that though, Dave, because C9, if they're in the position that they're in right now, Pure have all the momentum, might as well just continue to ride it to the promised land, right? Until you simply just can't anymore. Ooh, Drunk almost got a haircut there. There he goes. Came back around for the shave.
Septify getting that pick there. They got the sniper down Pure. We also see Talik taking a long flank route here. We're gonna have to see what is gonna happen with that flank, because this could either be great and he flanks and gets the kill on the sniper, or he leaves his teammates out to dry, and all of a sudden Cloud9 are on the offensive, get a pull, and there's Talik going down. So that flank completely ineffective. What can Cloud9 do with this? This is a scary time for Pure. You do not want to let them back in this game. And you remember that stat, GB? 100% of the time that flag's grabbed, Pure has not recovered it. Let's see if that stat holds true right now in this flag run.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have much of a chance to go back and get it when Septify's taking their faces like this. And everyone off spawn, they got 3 down. And then at that point, there was just nothing that Pure could do out of it. And that is a cap.
This is the double cap territory.
Run it back.
Oh, look at Manny is still up front and center. We still have Septify over on the sniper bridge. The only saving grace Pure has right now is they still have a sniper on the back of their base. So this flag going towards sewers is not going to be safe. I actually don't know what the route is here, throwing that flag when they have that sniper back there.
Septify wants to play his life here. He's going to wait for Sab. He needs Sab to just go and clean up some of those players in the back. It's going to be a double kill.
Not a great
running into each other.
Cherish either.
He saw it too.
Some points he feel like he's, Cherish thinks that he's drawing some attention, which he is to a degree, but at this point, you need to fight out of your base as a team. Cherish trying to desperately stay alive. This flag comes back. Who is going to get the recov and who's going to get the cap? Looks like there's option to let that flag reset on its own.
Yeah, and Cherish
just a couple seconds away, but
they know where he is. They're just waiting it out.
I don't hate this play here from Septify. He realizes it's too good to be true. He can't just run this one in, so he has to get a few slays. There goes Septify. There goes Sab. It's a 4-on-2. Well, I don't know if the stat still holds true. This flag has not been returned yet.
Can they get the return?
Flag has not been returned.
If they get the return, history will be made, and I expect everyone in this building to make an applause happen. If you don't, we send it back.
Oh my God.
They're going to do it, Dave.
History, and to be sure, since they've never seen this in their entire life, all 4 are jumping on the flag just to make sure it goes back.
There you go. They get the recov, and history has been made for Pure. But jokes aside, though, man, they still have this lead. They still have some decent map control. And I think C9, you know, they did a lot of things right there. But you gotta give some credit to Cherish for making himself a difficult individual to remove from that side of the map.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess credit to Cherish there. Like, I thought it was a massive mistake to grab that flag, because I think you just got to be more in the slaying mode, but it looks like he did a bit of both. Toss the flag out, hopefully create some panic. Return towards sewers, went over towards the snipe side, doing some damage and buying, I guess, a little bit of time for Pure to get out of their base. So kudos to Cherish and Pure for breaking out of that setup and not allowing a double cap to happen, where Cloud9 were perfectly set up for a double cap.
And making history.
And making history. Yeah.
And making history.
That's the more important part.
Of course. All right, well, Pure gets their snipe now, and C9 will get the overshield, so they're all right with that. They're going to need to put this thing to work here. There you go. Nice play. Just jumping across. He's got the help from Manny as well, so they're going to try and chase that player down low. They know where he is, but the snipe's doing some damage there. Be careful, Suspector. He's got to stay alive.
Just buying time over here in the courtyard. His teammates are going to be the ones that are going to be his eyes, his ears, pointing out where everyone's at, and then he gets to lurk around here. Go over from Mohawk, get some shots in, eventually go to the front jump, get the flag grab.
I like what we're doing here for C9, right? They get
themselves. Oh, that's a pull. Yep.
And they got
do it. You're not chasing the back of the base, so I like this play from Suspector. You're basically going to fight anyone who is visible at that time, but as soon as they scurry to the back of the base, you pull that flag and punish them. Suspector somehow gets finished all the way over that far in the sewers. Cherish has an angle over from the hut. And Cloud9 are gonna have to weep as they see their flag recover all the way in sewers. They did so well up until that point, but cherished. Second flank, second flag recovery.
Making plays, man. This young man, it's been impressive. Doing a lot of excellent work here to try
those nades.
Yeah, you know.
Some sizzle sticks.
I miss them. Big fan of them. 4 minutes, 33 seconds left on the clock. Pure looking to close this one down. One flag cap is all they need. But for for C9 and the boys, they know that they have it. They've done it. They almost have secured 2 flag caps. That would have been the game. That would have been the map. So I'm feeling a little confident here for C9. But when it comes down to those moments, you got to clear those angles so that Cherish can't get like a free shot on a player that's running down low like that next time.
Look at this. Cherish is still holding this attic over here. or sorry, Pure are still holding this attic over here, and they know the push from Cloud9 has to be coming through. Looks like they get them all over on the opposite plat. That's all 4 down. They're in a position to grab it. In fact, Flag's already on the way. 2 members respawn, Spectre and Septify, but they are not going to be having a great angle to get this one stopped. And they are slowly but surely watching their Flag run all the way back. Wait,
Flag got returned.
Did Flag
I think I
off
dropped.
the map?
Yeah, I think it did.
Oh my God.
That's an
I was just gonna say, that's the most desperate and terrible time ever in your tournament life as you watch that final flag go in. You can't do anything about it. Someone smiling down upon Cloud9 as that flag falls off the map, and they're getting a pull again.
Oh my word. Opportunity here, but Pure now back into this one. Finds Sav as well, so they know exactly where that is. And here comes the pull now. Bring this one down low again. Is what happened to what happened previously to Cloud9 going to happen to Pure? Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case here. Talik is cleared back of the base. He's around the corner. Here he comes. No one in the vicinity to stop him, and that is going to be it. Pure lock it up. They move on, and C9 is eliminated from the Halo World Championship.
You know they are not feeling great. They were a team, so much potential going in this event.
Yeah, that was a bit of a heartbreaker there at the end there, you know, because you think, oh, you get yourself a little lease on life here, right? Flag falls off.
Right there, like those are one of those moments that you start to rally back. Like, all right, it's meant to be. Like, let's bring this back. Let's come back in this game. But right up, like 30 seconds later, new flag gets pulled, all 4 down, flag's going across the map, and it's like, all right, I had 1 Genie Wish left. I used down that last flag, man. I can't do anything much more here.
And you could have used it on World Peace, but you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. I would have used that.